Hello there, my name is Lamanjai, and this is News Review. Thank you very much for joining us. Coming up on the show today, we have engaged Professor Adebayo Olukoshi of International Idea, who is spearheading the dialogue on the draft constitution on behalf of his organization. He's the man really who has been working tirelessly behind the scenes to finding a consensus on the draft constitution there. Today there was a news conference that was held at the African Princess Hotel, which I attended, and I was able to throw some questions at the professor there. We will bring you that story a little later. The international, Qnet has also long been accused of engaging in fraud. The e-commerce direct selling company has agents in the Gambia, and officials of the company at the weekend engaged members of the Gambian media on their company and what they are all about. We have a report on that too, but also later be joined by Salukemo Baro. For all of this, we'll see what the papers are reporting on today. The Standard, we have them as well as the Point. The Standard lead story is on the draft constitution. They are reporting that deadlock remains over contentious provisions in draft despite progress in several areas. Jawara family demands Hamad's apology. GPU warns Baro against distortion. Ganu vows to fix government's misplaced priorities. Also on the Standard, I'll support GDC until my last breath. I think that is the GDC member of parliament there, Jimara Nam there, Alhaji. So GAP reacts to massive drug seizure. Al Basam Care, King Salman Foundation donate fab over 500,000 US dollars worth of medical materials. So according to the Standard today, the Gambia government went away with a mixed bag of results from the latest round of negotiations on the draft constitution chaired by former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan. Inside sources told the Standard there. In September, Gambian lawmakers rejected a draft constitution to replace the 1997 constitution. About 31 MPs voted in favor of the bill, while 23 members rejected it. The Gambia government then controversially turned to mediation specialist and former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, to find a consensus on certain changes in the draft with a view to sending it back to the National Assembly. So this latest round of talks have ended, and Goodluck Jonathan has traveled back to Nigeria. But today there was a press conference that was held by Professor Adebayo there. We have a report on that, and which we will bring to you. Jawara family demands Hamad's apology. The family of the late President Sadaura Jawara has demanded Tourism Minister Hamad Ba to publicly apologize over his derogatory and divisive comments about the country's founding father. Hamad Ba angered the Jawara family and sympathizers when he told the people of Nyani that he could not believe that even after 27 years of the rule of their own native, late Jawara, they could not be provided any single road to lessen their extreme poverty. GPU is also warning President Baro against distortion. The Gambia Press Union yesterday released a statement advising President Baro to refrain from inciting attacks against journalists and to quit distorting facts about their present situation in the country. Well, the president had claimed that some media houses, radios and televisions report false stories. They publish false stories. That was what he said. I think that was at the Kuloro meeting there. Ganu vows to fix government's misplaced. Sehtijan Ahmad Hydra, Secretary General of the Gambia Alliance for National Unity, Ganu, has lamented the acute hardship the country is facing as a direct consequence of the country's or the government's misplaced priorities and betrayal of the 2016 coalition agenda. He was speaking at the rally held by his party over the weekend. I will support GDC until my last breath. Honorable Alhaji Sow, the National Assembly member for Jimara, has told a GDC rally at his constituency that it's only death that can take him from the party. That's GDC. GAP also is reacting to the massive drug seizure there. The Gambia Action Party is aware of the current state in the country regarding the security threat. Recently, the biggest drug seizure at the port is commendable. That's according to GAP there. Let's see the Point now. Government under fire over EU good document practice. Intelligence agent testifies that Jame paid 20,000 euros to incriminate Lieutenant General Tamba. Fake banknotes dealers convicted. Qnet international officials meet Gambian media. We have a report on that. The spokesperson of the Gambia Refugee Association Europe branch has revealed that the German government is relying on the EU good document practice signed by the Gambia government to accept deportation of her citizens from Germany. Yaya Sonko told the point in an interview that the refusal by the Gambia government to accept its citizens after signing a deportation agreement paper is baseless, revealing that the European Union and the Gambia government had agreed on a signed EU good document practice to accept deportation of Gambians from Germany. Fake banknotes dealers convicted. Magistrate Salam Bay of the Kanifing Magistrates Court on the 7th of January 2021 convicted and sentenced Buba Nyangare and Amadou Jallo to 2 years and 2 years 6 months imprisonment without an option of a fine on 2 counts of conspiracy to commit felony and purchasing forged bank notes. The sentences would run concurrently. We'll be right back. Welcome back. So today I was able to engage one of the officials of International IDEA, the organization that is spearheading the dialogue effort there. You know, the draft constitution fumbled at the National Assembly, and now the government they invited International IDEA to come in and spearhead the dialogue of all the various political stakeholders to ensuring that there is consensus around some of the contentious issues over the charter there. So Professor Adebayo Olukoshi is the man, in fact, who has been behind the scenes. Not a lot of Gambians know about him, really, but he is the man. He's a top official of International IDEA. International IDEA stands for International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance. It is an intergovernmental organization that supports sustainable democracies around the world. Of course, this group or organization has been in the country since the advent of the Baro administration. So let's take a listen to some of the questions that I threw at Professor Adebayo and his answers to them. My very first question has to do with the number of political parties, 15 political parties that attended this discussion. I want to know, in terms of consensus or agreement, how many political parties agreed to the so-called retroactive law? How many agreed and how many didn't? That is one question. We have about 15 political parties. Also, I want to know why didn't Dr. Goodluck Jonathan himself speak to the media to, hold a news conference to talk to Gambian journalists? I want to know about that too. And then, yes, I think, and then, okay, the option paper. We clearly had a lot of issues in accessing that. And the feeling outside there is that you were playing your cards too close to your chest, that you didn't want the public to really know what you are up to. You know, members of the media really struggled to lay their hands on this document. And there was this suspicion or feeling out there that really this process is highly suspect. What do you have to, say about that?
I can email it to you for you to be fully satisfied that there's nothing in it. I'm happy to email it to you. Give me your email and we'll send it to you. Okay? There's nothing magical about some of these, but it's okay. It's something which we can share, and I've been saying it. But in everything in life, there's timing, there's phasing, and there's sequencing. Right? If you are involved in track 1 or track 2 discussions in a context of dialogue, you also have to be mindful of what you bring in at what point, who you bring in, at what stage, and what you say, at what level. It's just a fact of life. Even in our ordinary social relations, between you and I as friends, there are some things I can feel readily enabled to say to you, and there are some things I'll wait for you to finish eating before I break the news to you. And there are some things I say it's better for me to catch you in the morning before your head is filled with other things to tell you. You see my point. So don't read meaning into it. And when you get the paper, you will find that there is really not too much. Half of the paper is the biographies of the political parties, which we prepared for the eminent person, right? The biographies of each of the people, the key actors from President Baro downwards, we summarized for him. He has his own team who will do research for him, but we say just in case, if you hear the name Adama Baro, this is his biography, official. If you hear Usainu Dabo, this is his biography. That's part of the options from people that people are talking about. And then the 16 political parties, this is their history. And how many seats they have in parliament. And when were they registered, and so on and so forth. Information for him. And the others, summary of good practices, because I don't believe in best practices. I talk of good practices around the world on specific issues, 6 of them. That's it. So when you read it, let's talk again. And I'll be happy to engage with you or anybody else about it. Just Goodluck Jonathan did speak to the media twice.
No, the one I remember has to do with the one that when he met the president,
yes,
stand and go, short press.
Yeah,
press
yeah.
That was compiled by the State House.
No, but don't you have State House representation?
They sent an invite.
Yes.
They sent that, but State House, the way and the manner in which their press conferences are done is just not the way to go about it.
Yeah, true.
We want answers to questions.
Well, so, true, and people were free to ask questions, and they asked him several questions, and he responded. But let me, I don't want to be.
Don't you think you would have?
No, hold on. I don't want to be to sound evasive about it. But factually, he spoke to the media twice. Secondly, on each of the occasions we came here, we raised against time. We raised against time, and I'll give you an example. After we finished the session on Saturday night, it was evident, given the menu of issues remaining, and significant progress was being made, that the plan to have a meeting first thing 9:30 a.m. on Sunday with the leaders of the parties not in parliament had to be cancelled. And we sent out messages that night to them to say, don't come before 2 p.m., please. When they came at 2 p.m., we were still logged in discussions with the parties in parliament. And the invitation to them was to, if you want, please have lunch whilst we finish. I think we finished in the end around 4 p.m. And we adjusted everything to say, okay, the session with the leaders of political parties not in parliament, the session with CSO leaders combined into one session, grand session, that enabled us to go up to about 6:30, 7 p.m. So he was against time. And remember, he's also the facilitator, ECOWAS facilitator for Bamako. He actually postponed his engagement in Bamako in order to privilege this as the first assignment for the new year. And his argument was simply that, well, there's time sensitivity about the Gambia. Things have to be we should have clarity before the end of January. Otherwise, there's really no point. And that's why he said 7th of January. He didn't have Christmas. We were working with him through the Christmas holidays on these clusters that I mentioned and going through the draft constitution to see what approaches could be taken and what questions he could put to individual leaders, from President Barrow to Senator Dabo to BB Dabo to all those whom he met one-on-one when he came back. So it wasn't out of anything. mischievous. And I think it's also indicative of the both the respect and the and consideration, as well as the recognition of the key role of the media, that I stayed back. The last time you were with us at dinner, where again I said, look, let me lay it open, the same way I laid it open to the leaders of civil society. I say, here is what is going on, this is what we are hoping, and this is the approach that is being taken. And it's in that spirit that we are also having this press conference.
The reason I asked that is because it would appear that a lot of Gambians had interest in Dr. Jonathan's coming to the Gambia.
Absolutely.
So it would have made more sense if he had, after all is done and dusted, if he had, engaged the media, because the State House a press conference, I don't call it a press conference. Yeah. There you go to, you want to ask certain uncomfortable questions, they block you and they say, news.
Yeah, no, but on.
If it were an independent situation such as this one, it would have made more sense.
But on this occasion, in fairness, there was no blockage. People asked very pointed questions, and he took all the questions.
I have my experience.
Yeah, no, I'm saying on this occasion. I'm not disputing your experience. I'm saying on this occasion,
yes.
I was there, and they asked him questions, and they were not questions that you can say are simple questions. They are similarly tough questions that were asked of him, and he answered, to the best of his ability. We are moving in the right direction. If one were to use an analogy, you say we have sighted Canaan. We are not yet there, but we sighted Canaan, and and that answers your first question about the number of political parties. I think it's been a spirit of give and take. And some parties will obviously need to go back and do some more introspection and reflection on what works for them out of what has been discussed and what doesn't work yet. So it's not as if we've come to the very, very end. It's a political dialogue, it's a political process, but we seem to be on the right track and to be moving in a direction in which I said consideration, trust, mutual respect, ability to converse and, hear each other out has been established properly. I think that's an important step forward.
Yeah, but do you have an idea as to the amount of parties that are agreeing to this? Because that is the most contentious issue here, the issue of the transition.
If you are witness to the last session with the combined session with the political party leaders and the civil society leaders, you would have seen political party leaders who got up and said that for the greater interest of the Gambia, they are prepared to let this issue of retroactivity rest. At least two of them. At least, no, hold on. I'm saying, if you were there, you would have seen political party leaders get up who openly declared before the hall, right? It was not a negotiation session anymore. It was an exchange session, an information sharing session. And in the end, I think, as I said, I don't really want to jeopardize what we have achieved so far. In the end, there will be some self-introspection that will have to take place on all sides. And a framework has been provided for that self-introspection to take place. We will be trying to build on that framework in order to then be able to say definitively that we have.
You can join us on 77000225 or 529-1888. Buy Perfume Gambia. You will really love it. Buy Perfume, the first perfume.
Very well, welcome back. One thing that has also been of interest to Gambians has to do with the issue of the money that is going into this, because twice, former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, flew into the country. And some Gambians have been really wanted to know how much money is going into this dialogue process. I was able to ask the professor that later, and what he told me is that the entire amount of money that is going into this effort or exercise is being footed by his organization. That's International Idea. I asked how much is involved, but that he couldn't give me that answer and said, well, that will have to be in a special interview form. So that was what happened earlier today. I'm now joined by Salukemo Baro. This interview, I mean, when we announced it, a lot of people think that he's some foolish person, some idiot, really, who didn't deserve our time. But really, when it comes to the Fatu Network, we treat all Gambians equally. No opinion is foolish or idiotic to us. What we do is we make sure the platform, everyone has an opportunity. If you want to speak, we will give you that leeway. It is up to the Gambian people to listen or not to listen. So, Salih, but just to warn you that this interview will be done in Mandinka. Salih, thank you for coming. Abaraka bage na raja.
Abaraka Mr. Njai.
Na Mandinka interview buka siya bake, but then be news review kacha. Bakila kacha me alonko is going to be between me and you in Mandinka. Bakila volto. Follow in Bara. Ite keda mod me alonko. Emo President Baro kanunte bati. Ibe based in Italy. But then ina ata ticket o kuntu iko voice na Gambia ina ikafu president e to dati iko voice na kafama ida iftara toto ina ata sayang alfela li to bandi follow mbe nyinin kala menna wala mu president Baro la monse kunda ala wala la maralo keta kudi me yalonko adi amos yar akanon tolu atolu sifal ko president Baro be do ko wala. Then bariya mul soro mini along goal opposition holdo one way or the other will call President Baro mantra falato. Itama canon teot. Lafte ya fanyi President Baro kabra maralo dati animbi aba itala jiro ta lata nyadile aning foite jikole soto ala kuto kafoko President Baro tonya atle mu Gambia la mansor mi along ko ole jarra mobe bulano.
Abaraka baka la minen jay mbe kontona baka be jiber lal be kontona anyway comme ma arabu ko moy la denu na interview ka arabu ko na bare I'm sorry mo moy because ndafane wala karam.
Yes.
Anyway so English on ko try la war budo man kay fende no me alon kon fama long dina ko nyoko teta English karam mo.
Yes.
Anyway mbe jiber lal be kontona janne be duna kaja ko no benna president kontona his excellency Cairo Balafa hino President Adam Barrow ba kontona ba kana force family be NPP dingo be kontona o ko lambe Gambia dingo be kontona ibe parti wo patito be jibe lal fana be kontona mo be dawoda momo yela watuta kana jibe rola jam be kontona ba like yem fo modo le amira non ko e ka Salukemo Baro kuma ndi la platform to kuma jama not ya mira non ko idiot la mati but you know e malla fala message e futa mol ma men yalon ko itolka kuma kenzo men fo molie pour we senea so that's why wala atinde ka balang e ka kumo be ntoliye lonne ne faham le fana but you know but ya lonna ko men kon tol mo bi kande no adu dawda no nakuma ka fuda je ela nyinin karo nata daminto ko president Baro la maralo adiamo siara adun dol ko ate do ko wala e ko understand anyway wom to nyandiro lati yalo no mo bi ka tilo itandi mola ne be Gambia jan adu mino like altol journalist solo maybe non tollel sem fan so no wala but altol wol kayno anyway mamere question of ase futa no nyin dlat comme no nyin karo ni katalam don but altol wol nyantalo nal ko be do ko la fare do ko la ani mendu fanat ne mendu fanan ka mantra do ko la asenar wol fanan mal ko Adama Barrow be do ko la Gambia jam birana ta jang ay mendu ko na be rol mennu la anin akana be rol mennu la mbe alon nako apareta do ko la ado anata do ko la men be diamu sendi ka wol mu karadanta nati adu wol ba ke kay ko na interest la anin ka modo la interest fasa bar momo ran dialon ko no be diamu kanim banko la banko la nyatuta anin banko kanole mo yalla nako Adam Barrow be do ko la abe silolu deda kam be wo sede ale abe boholol sinkam musol la gadinol to abe nyotura masinu di kam molula e ko na sana abe molu mako la men yalla ko be sulare mako la dawoda e ko na sana adu no wala mu koti bi Gambe be sulare men bi sula ku man tambi ni nakamol la silolu doku ka birjode da moli adum Adam Barrow wo kele e ko na san molel ka tamo sidol kam mota fal ko Adam Barrow mo wolo doku adu ay silol lel bero la men yalon ko ni tara hakalan wo silo bero lata adum be yalon no weltarta min jarabi kono janno wata mo wulli ntata jeno serum ning alien nana talo jibe social media ntata kaje jibe wo silo tarta no nyamin kunun anin bi jebe nyaming mo be yalon ko adama baro du ko kele adu wayati na wullin kolu labo no bi ka sidiya to fo moy wala ka adam baro dam mala woto adama baro be do ko ke kan adu no courant jibe ntolla kiyang ntol nan mon courant soro birin gambia ya kolon bar adama baro le musababoti ka courant sama nan tolla kiyam bi na alfa be jisuma min kan na suwol kono ye fidu jol soroji non to kamina fo adama baro la lasto ke bali ya ben non tolla jifaron cross monero e kay ko nin tol sulata jisuma lan kata sam min tol kallaji e ko understand because minamu ya jembe ko kiyam hani kandiyo na sano ata dun la kiyam banko ka ayo miton kan nyora jata bale adam baro nat ako albe nyewo alte nyewo nin do ko jaratal kafral toliya mbaftan la jel o dalilo kama ako kiyam ko lal nyemu mente alma men soro sanji talul nin feng alla silo mande dal ba kumbola because ya ka talla bu silo do ko la ada manke history ti moye mo bele nya baje kan ni tar Salukemo na salu na facebook o do ba taraje na post amang lo konsi video nyin aba foka nyora jata ba ako kiyam ko alman taranye ntalla silo de dal ako farfenyen kol yo wolake like farfenyen o minto ako badi bo wolfane wolake ako bar ibulata mo dolle la nemo kono wala nyomin kolti ako bar ni tara jana banjun pororo yemo moja funkularin abonna salkenyel ay wo fajabe kiyan kol fanan fokor so nim mo nata me ya lon ko nte maji bebe mintole e konda sanne as far as mu gambe dewnati e kan namo jole mbe do ko kelale nyanta kala nyamin ay futalma alla namo futalma moro non tolya ala tentule aduna ala tentu man so me wo man sakew dinna memmo adama bawati adu will continue na duwaye fo ala ngani mu mente ay gambe futani je because nan ko gambe me expect non sanjital lon ni fen koma adama barol mu moti kam futandi woto
bari sale jibe lalo menu be ko independent jibe lalo wala semen fo no ire men be fo ko adam baro be silo de dal but wal kamen fo nyaato ta wala development amantra dending comme simple sila de da be dendi membala wala mo kamol la baluwo falling in the sense during president baro e banko tanim bi gambia nolu ila baluwo falling tale bam fap amam falling in terms of because gambia kera banko me yalon ko afuara sembo wara you know so kumembo nyama ning wala baluwo yo falling mol bo jamaa bo wala kontila ko wala development not for president baro kala ba
la be janya mere no be anyway fonse diam mol ya faham gambia no la baluwo falling dale adu kam fo sila de da bi moto jelle be bor kan nen silo kanjam trafic ka block nyaadi e ko understand trafic ka block nyaadi maybe ntama moto sang ndo nyom mo kemel be wala moto sang follow trafic be block kan so ni wo silo be de da kay ko manke development o dammati wo mu tonyen drolti wol mu dato njawya man ni ko ka fole dato njawya mo be kukendo ke faalon ko ni mu kukendo lati bari mal la fayef e ko understand wo mu walati mo la balwo falentale adam baro minaja wato mena kunu mine be ke kan nembanko kanjam mo le me fansoro no ila do ko dinkral to mo jellel bay man balwo ke no mela mo ba ko no ye bay do ko wala wol kam mo ke mo lel ma koy e ko understand e be balunde kan barbiri yaay wol bay baluwo koleyata wolma baluwo koleyata mol me kamennu makoy ay dol bay banko ke tara si senegal le baluwo koleyata wolma senegal kono baluwo koleyata mol me la alfalma nim banko kanjam adam baro nata ko mo be fambul mo moy do koke ay fenkol sam fondin kewle bi ndebe ka moy bakuye de kunum bakuye tasiyata nyamin mo leta libe ya cross mo leta ino bankol do ino kukata tuwa dule binta bi ko moy adam baro ko fon ni gadina do kol men bebe kere ta dawo danen santo to ten gadino malo anyway I don't know fal bika na ku adam baro la ko la folo wala na sometimes nkal bilemu le gambia journalist because you know ning sifa be kere mol be nin sifa fokan isa wuli no le round yata santo to jibe ni tara kiyan jifarum ibe fenko taraje gadino gadino mi alon ko musol damala do kun tanta wot fannin ko sa wul no le do ko keje ni tara nyom ibe gadino le taraje musol damma tanda man ko kam gadino da musol damma le baranim fannin ko belam bade mo sulata wala bi tourist ila fenko wolbe ba berin jam fo santoro e be dinkral be mako kam pour bade mo fannin kewul nyaay linje adu nakal da buru fudi mito biri daniro ke yaitan la kulun jelleji fannin kewul pour ye fanna fala fannin kewul fonnele o kulun wafi e tara ba ko yela yamira fon tollel fon be balu ko lende kam fam fi bang fo president be balu ko lende kam fi adu no nin lafta balu sonaya ndol fon be wurala president ay de ko nyim fannin kewul wala ni nimmolu e be sulare ndo ko la ta semen keno ya dani men na bodi lela pour ye fam balonde sate mol ye fam balonde tundol ye fam balonde ba yite fone ba jibe la aya sute ko to nya nimmol be sulari ne pour que fam makoy kela baluwo falindi aya dialla al sulata menna al yake fana na nya ba mebe tuma do sama modol sie fam fam fal ba nya fani ko lay bot nan to abdo setane be sama do kol namman do Musa afele jana ino jahal la farabato atele be do kol je abe mano deda kan jang mano boto ni no afon ka fenke aka waf ngol magambe banko kanja adum bibi la lambe jikrin ko mano mina mano me ya lon ko na diata man satallay nta fulay no wat jamala mina nta fula be wafila jellala bar mano pareta mina jang tuma da botol fon be bola banko kanja na be deda be solla janne abe sanna da men gambe di na balwo be falinale adum jamal go sila nim banko kanja wala mu his excellency adama baro banko di ne karto fay
abo mano boni kana min dol
mano ni mina kan pour banko
akabo mi
akabona ndamin to no mo ko to
rama ga donation mano
mo wolon bari no mano minale
ka donation dani taring dunia ko rama ga sor mano yalon isane ande because it lay ñun topic ko ma nde malon nun ko president adam baro be mane nati kanjam itala yafo so jama be jibe kan je sene andi bam president o ñim mano bonde min tole ana ko nati nyaade because in clearly in president di back
nta wata fala
mna ta fala
ka damin to ñinen
bari sa je ko
na wato sita department o member bondila wol bana once lale ka fintindi yu ka isa tano je ya safe bari nte da ko nata bolo rabi bolo na ñindila kar la fenkal bari bal wala sonia adam baro hamo men soro pour gambia bal wala sonia je mol kana toranka ay ngani yo men soro woro nko wala fay adu wobe kala tuma date mela banko kanjam mano mina jam meya lonko ada fonte jawyala adu no tuma do ning momo lafita ila bal wasa falin no
so bari may ende jakale president baro brabe sila ay même fo wala ko mano dabe jila keme fo keme lulu bam fo keme say I don't know ay wala fo sam president baro felandi almost ala fenko baby na banna san dunda last final year kono me ala wala mala yela bongot all of a sudden president baro be mano natla aditi ka fo mole ko mano dabe jila president baro be mun kuleto nyim last year kono abe campaign la bam fa munala me fo mole bam
ela ne newspaper nyeng aman safe nunje ko no ye namu tala poroto business manual men nan ko kabalu bonnam banto ye bela namo ta ye namu jo stop la fang pour mano e nani banko kanjam free moli asa yi wokita mina dalil kama pour mano daiji
bara manji
mina na manji because gambe dun mom bala fasoro nyom kambe dewne fo yamira non ko adam baro be kelal ko yaa jambe bang ila tay adam baro ke ko yaa jambe business manual men be ka fenko kana woli bor fa yenna banko bula because ita kada samale ita kata mano san nda kata mano san adam baro woke mina dalil kama wala mu nyenti ko mano da jawji adum ba fole ko fota ma ko mano men ka wafi no mano me ka molu e ka janjam molu tema no like foni wallanto no anin din kradol to free of charge bi fama no ning ayatara nun ko adam baro mu man sa jawle ta malla fi gambe dun la balwo e falling wo man sifal to sot la bay katla mol fanante ma ba barata kenol because minamu iba murundi kanne tongo fen ka soto donation ole to akatale marketo to gambe dun yasam gambe dun be balwala bare ni ko niro ata banko dum be sila bay no gambe dum be balwala abe keka wala kam bare mbe men fole ikam men nyine ngata wala mu nyinde ko namo jitale adon adam baro men fa practice le gambe be nyaaya newspaper be a safe ko nan namo bondi fawnu kanne men yalon ko mina kam mulla balwobe sulare men sundi men wala adum be daniro kala wafilla le yela dalu jindi wol fota janna nim banko kanja say no ning wol man da jindi nyanta wol bilem la nyanta diam la wol le bang fo même quoi be mano dat la fo 700 nyanta wol bilem la non nyanta menu bilem la wol mo business mano di men yalon ko wol be haramo do makan
so it la jero to men be president bilem ga wala man zakunda ibe nakarol because yenin lan to jere bi ko to e ma laf gambe di ne jelon ko adam baro na mo le bondi business mano la tan kan so no business mano wolle be haramo do makan because na mo me yaboni dalilo men kan ni mo woke wo mud na haramo le ti yo do mo le haramo le so anyway kana je na kare nka je fana yitande mo Saliu nga diamu tola nyina do mande because the president well tojing loi sembodia la constitution o sembodia pro ay banko be yayi bar banko yara mo menti wala mu prioritize adin gamenul kacha soto gamenul kana mal wala ye lo nya tulinya la ila to nyal fa ila kole akol fa bari toning jama baye mem fo wala ko toning kra political thought president lo da dawda politiko do nega keje ani mbumbayo ka mani jama domo musu nyimali pare ka dongo siandi ko mali ya yelamandi wala fo wala mbali wala ke
politiko e man sa men sindi te mine espe ko nyanta mine kala ma fo kilo e men sindi election wala keta ay tata mulle no ma campaign ke kato fa ita espe ko nyanta mine kala na mu ro mulu kan ado anyanta murre kan ke dani fanaali kato dinna ka ke ko ita ndila ita espe ko nyanta mine kala lamini jay alin kana nyona kari alin kana president na yalla memmo politiko le adam baro sindi adon adam baro be continue law politiko le fajanni lume ina be bolaje mo kana o mira ko ata politiko kala adon ala right le mo pour ka politiko ge bari quand même fo men yalon ko ay wolle
bari ñi manke politique benti
yalla na même fo
ñi manke politique benti ita bitaga ndamendo adenti ngi ñi nga menne manke
yes mina
manke politique benti ko ko priorita ani mid people ani moliye kacal soto bari molu be men fula wala moy be la to nyalel fula ila wosi ko la ni la problème wol men be dala inyanta wolle kanina bulo ko no ate dum fana ye face ka fo ko abol jara la nyaadi le bari daga men diam politiko wala de kara dron ka kuma kenson siandi ñi manke politiko di ñi mu pour ni mole tale ka ca soto fal ye wala ke bang
menaje yalon ka men fo na start damin ni ñinin karo ke mbula na banna jabi pak after de ni yana mbele fla wala politiko le adam baro sindi ano bala politiko kelale ikonda sana la right le mati ikam men nyinin ka ikonda sana gambia momo inin to follow ma fa men yalon koy no ike bang ibika adam baro la fenjibe ikana ka findi ka kuma kenson fo moli ma wo molo fade bar momo yalon ko yenin to follow yalon na koy no adam baro ma singolo bantaba kilindo bantaba me yalon ko politiko dam mal kata daje moli me la sulo itanda mol ka adam baro dani minala gadi no lelmu na silolu deda bo hololu signé lafta ambalance lella lafta molla sulo ino kadam baro dan wala adu wol manke wala ko men ko ino politika sulo le mo woto mo npp sulo ti no molla sulo ka dan wala adu niya dana le no minister ka safara bala ni minister bunda memmo ya safe ni ba keno la ika ya fenge mbebe tonyen jibe kanne adu ta jointa tonyen kayno jara madina president dunta lumen na lrr kon wolu nen jointa kan wolu nen jointa je adu birinte dum jointa toñim fanan kono fokana lumen nabam banjun kono mol kila sulo dam mal ko president baro adu nabe diam la kaytan la koyno alla sulo na moyle mba kela la wallanto ya ko mole ko minister li alla ko moyle yali adam baro be ko makilim fole yala ko ko adam baro be kam mo promise ayatara non ko fem mantra lara bulu abe menkela abe tarra bulle ning nata nyina kam ay permission ok abe larin jele ay permission ok abe jikirin ko kakanale na man do abulo ko na be kam mo promise adam baro ni to be kono ye muriya video be jibe ay mol promise fengo fenna janni ba fa election na manke after election ababe kala ado aka même fo courant be gambia be benna ay wo fa mol ya nyin ka courant na dinkra
ere be même fo kan ka fo la keren santun kono
okay
eko ako nen ay election win fo ka pare bo la fo ka o situation na make election kola abakela
la before election wala after election because adam baro be win no doubt about
yo basement on
ay fa alto la base nyaadi la ay comme ko na adam baro be wulla 3 years momo yela mirol ronta barinte ya lonko amanke comme ko adam mo kane fannene wala ko adam baro to win ni 10 election men kana e december ndol natle nyaaje en kamem moy adu nyaaje le nimmol ka katal yaade bi nimmoto men nanata ten ntana dum ta dawoda e ko understand e camera nun ko adam barol be tambi kan because you know mol ya npp kanule adu mol be bularing npp normale adu ya adam baro kanule bi kawlo ita silela bon kon mol kan même fo telephone auto message auto e ka understand ni ko be o talebe fella like mol men nan ko tolta adam baro la fenji be le malla fi kala video jibe e malla fi ka adam baroje yalla no wala kuma fo mol about adam baro be to nyandrol so moma nyanna kala confiance ita bika femmenje ndankon ro molle ka fo ita camera wala mu toñati no ndol nyaajele mine be kering gambe banko kan gambe dun pareta minala wala mu ka adam baro tamminde because adam baro jarata la be fenne fananke kan gambe on ko le men esprit nyone no mantra damento gambe bele adam baro appreciate adum gambe bele ba noma birin kum fokum momo yenene ko bari mamira say mol fon ka fa adam baro motano birin ni to banda ni bita mamma mo
eta ma moy mo yela moto to fo biri mal be paka ngal yo file yela moto alla ni moto da jawata ni moto men be bulu ni pick up at least this is 1.3 million or 1.5 million ali en kodo be bo me
bari na fa Adama Barrow mo ye mo lelu long mo kendo la ni wolel be business la no janna be kala president adu wo mo kendo ma ni nyolo manjutu nyola adu hani bi wolba ko mala suto nin tilo pour que Adama Barrow fasa hani fielo wallahi mbe men foka Adama Barrow ya ka fole ko no banko la karfole benta bulu hani fi fadi non ta bon laje adu biril lumen na moy naje ko men ko Umar bun Katabu tartanu balu kam mo nyaato wala nyaa mo kendo na Umar bun Katabu ka kay ko itele mo amirul mu'mininti e jarata fengo bela dum fengo nyi maytale nyanta kadu la rango nyi maytale nyanta kela kan do mor fengo di maytale jarata pour ka dom Umar kay way haka akabe doko sikala balibar akay ko yike kam menke fo yamere yalo fo de man ko nyimu kafol da bel ko kafo albe ko do fay nyokan dalasi alenta karafa ninta wodo monta haramot Adama Barrow wole babul Adama Barrow la ni motolu politiko la motolu molel be loring birin sarahule kundal to fo mandin ka kundato fo surwa kundal to kaf nyo kendol men yanko ni e nyolo e manjitu nyola wollel be lorin pour que Adama Barrow donate fengona patiobe sulari menula adu wolbe parir na pour que Adama donate fengo fenna nan atra nun ka jarata la sularo because nan manjitu no
wol itol ka yin men fote itol be la free president blum munela
be la free
report in return ika fo men na bawol ka fo men na quid pro quo coming because to tell you the truth mota la kodo so la na fulo so ka ditela o nyama drong atra ate mam feng expecti bulo ko ni mol men ke fo wol la fita bunela president bul
la men jay bibi la lete be do ko la ning ada business mo nim partner to ko be den business all albe business o wala albe nyo support kan business o ni fans business o but partner malti bita man sayata ite be sula lay be fatu nyinen kala fengo fenna praye makoy abe fatu bulu ina be business o la no iji kitala fo fatu tere makoy la wala abe sula la return na lete bulu ban etla mirror fatu be sula
hamkay asa sula la kay
no nentala munta sula la
barsa fo defana malo
wol nyon ke mole men yalan ko ngam molel fo men yalan ko wol man sula transla Adama Barrow bulu na mollo ne na modo lo wol konol men yalan ko wol nanata sula la banko la fenna ina man sula Adama Barrow bul fenna e ko understand abe bulle adu paretal ka Adama fasa
ka kala dron to
ndata moto fele jang ndata moto fele jang yes ndata moto fele jang bari non na mollong men yalan ko woli no fengon ne be loru woli jang ko mbojjan ni aji be sabun kondino bum tan saba me yalon ko no bado ibe wobe mu business solti woli aka fenne dundu woli wol sa kor ko kala Adama Barrow aduna nyola na before bi nyone nawta damindo hana lani ni mol lani piko fol UDP lani piko fol men bi la député le bulletin président a fola kaf nyol le adiala adu mol la tala ko wolle le adiala adu no ita mo kana mira ko no wol boda banko la ko do la do Adama Mansula wala Adama Barrow Mansula wala
alla to yemme foy ko president kadiyamu menna wala mo okay naltara mol sela cool so income la so kola ko la ni la sula ko president yana fo ya ba jara la nyame but même fanan sotoral la politiko kono well la to kono baake wala mo kalo platform molto ka politician ol bafla okay karagnol betenne albe karadol mala opposition ol ke datiri la o siya bata la to kono
like
muna tinali o dundije
like minto
like everywhere
so menu ke like dat lintol menu ke dat lintol la
yes
yo wala nyinen kala ba mina ne ke dat lintol la ba
no ninge i fanan so don ke nyinin kale ndanga mo so don kale nyinin kale so ngere nyinin kale
no
atol muna atol du
let me tell you something lamine njay yalo no nkana mira komen ko journalist ya be kala nyinati komen ko no mbeta rasirina office wala kono nkam mem moy wala nkam enji safarin banda nawta
fondo lel bugo safe ndolel kala safe ndolel la do ko moti ndolel kala safe ndolel kam abe report
like Fatmata Jawara mem fo ning atra wosi fallel mo kam mem fo
no amanke Fatmata Jawara da mati atol la keso be dula be from Banjul around to come again banko be round the same thing them
mbad na ne woto ndol mo politician ol mbol kelal adum ko folo mu damde janni be duna ndlando inyanta Fatmata Jawara apologize la yemen fo Fatmata Jawara
muna yata nyanta apologize let
la min jay journalist wala mutati adum Usain Dabo mem fo Gambia jamam mo kilin kumba ka fo ko Adam ya jembele fisada Adama Barrow womu tonyen drolti nen drole mu adu no mo safo no jam fala mu moli men yanon ko wollel fatate atela kuwala gambe banko kanjam mo safo ko wol dola wol jam fata
yalon to laddo ko
e ko na san so do man nan ko mo fada
go on
you ita man nyana nala ka fatumata ta ka personal attack wonte tla do ko
of course o bantala do ko konale
yalon
gambe no
birin dabo ya fo birin dabo kumo fa alla page ole a post video ni birawo kuma kan fo ali altan la komen ko mol ye findi victim mol ye findi yeta demonstrate against dabo woketa la ba
no
adu fatma dabe kuma le jali kan
yala kolu
la so no kumo futande nsonna kumo futanda wajibi ata yala hadama
of course
ni mistake
ta nte binale mbo be sata lenne bari tela dia mo be fo futa
mbato fatma tay be kumo le jabi kan dabo e mem fatma tay toro men ke nim banko kanjam gambie dinkilinta jam memma moy hanna tara imma moy imaje bari ya moy fatma ta langan yote kelenyinte kalo public ka ko men ko ya jembe na aylo usen na bunda to nin atra usan man kuma fa men jabi kan adu ite ya lonko mbato nso ite ya lonko faniyata daminto fatma ta jawrabe mo le jabi kan me kuma fa force wala dabo fatma ta bol jabi alaji es dabo ya fujang amal lo kum flosi mamo ya jabi ye video de da maji no la news to ya safeje alaji es dabo ya fa amal lo kum flosi alaji es dabo membe bir kama dibito membe bir
ako nyaade
ako ni ako animi sakle milantina karto fa adam bara nyanta karto fa no ya jambele gambe bele o moy
ntama woje o man fudan la table ko maje because nyanta mem fana understand
mol ya jabi okay so bar dabo tay yo moy de adu yalon ko fatma be dabo le jabi kan dabo me ya fa dabo la ko serious da imira mol fata dabo le solo san dem fata dabo le fatma de jawra tore tab dabo le sajo kunjan sanol fata dabo le e ko understand lamaro wol fata dabo le san jamal fata jande jere fati
imam fa dabo fata bankole
nso jere fati wolu e ko understand adu ko le kadi menu nyanta safala ko do talata jana victim wol yeno wolle ko do jelle soro yi inen kumbole fata jere fati wol nen kumbole fata almo wol safa alman campaign alman wo attack personally e ko ka fatma jawra me ya lonko bi ni mo nyaaje ka kumbo ay toro men so ne mirale ko kumbo la min jay mamira journalist o nyanta kala woti ye video de da aka janjang iko muso attack muso ay ni okya baka adu no nyanta le ya
nanga kuma clean for en se mem fono woro because he left because in the honestly ndama na interview do ka question all job ndala document wala kede nyinen ka but in se mem for wala ko trouble ka for men 2 rounds doesn't make it right comme nin do kuja okay amam bin ko refa mbina ye kuja okay o man soro dunia dulato
okay
o man soro dulato okay journalist o fana mbuka tarano dula beto nyola at once wado do lise kumodo kalamuta ite do kalamuta la o is normal but saying politician la tole kufula mulunta imankling dabo bring dabo e kumol menfo dabo e memfo ntola meng ngantol ngasute nyamek wolem ko ate ning atra barobe bulakam yajame ka kolu menuke baro fanam bina ko kollelke woto mose nimisa nole ka yajame falem barola da boy wala fode da bula kumota rana da wala ako ning atara yalo ngal kana ko jinta ka no dabula kumo seniat la même fo ntanga dabula kumo la moy bakel dabo même fo wolem ko dabo ma fo ya jamala fishada barot dabo ma fo nyama dabo kole ko ning atra president baro fanam binala ko ke men yalon ko même benu njawo ko baraw kusi fallela woto mosen nimisa nole ntanga dabula kumo la moy la ngala because was storying na reporter me ya safe biri wo ya safa kole ay men safa wala ko dabo ka a regreta muna nay baro faleng ya jamela biri wotara viral ibatu biri wotara viral nte fon la murtanta because nte mam video nyin la moy but bring European call kumbode ko nga dabo miss code le dabo ma fo nyam nte fon tata nga video nyi yele nga alla moy na realize ko to nya dabo ala ko mo fonin context menna ntol man ko mo nyin safa nyo wala na ngo fen ko nyi nga bonde but saying like I said kufula mulunta bari mankili mo adama dingo kumo aka fo nyame ni ba bol ba ko interpret la diate nyame politician wol ba interpret la etol fevo nyame ba interpret bari inte brinten sida ngana independent journalist judgment o ke na rajela ko dabo mem folam ko ning atra ya jemme ka baram menula baro fanan binata fanan bo kuma ku kilingo la bara wala woto mo sen nimisa ko le mo sen nimisa ka yaje me fanim baro la dabo wala fo so ni Fatmata Jawara yo interpret ko ha dabo ko baro fisiata yaje me fisiata baroti at mo mata la interpretation that's fine but another memfo intel nga problem mo soto dabento listen fomu ya kalamudo bantene ya intela yaja me ka dabula Gambian ol fi ka yaja me campaign tribe en banko kam ntol be nganna do man ngol contribute so bari ndin another victim la many alon ko e mantoro so donte man any direct problem o so with yaja me alhamdulillah man la moye man alhamdulillah man la mo fa even though fana nga silol so nga problem ni mesen ni ngol so me alon ko nko se tunoje bar alala de maro me balurem bi bari sen même fo na direct problem o so but yaje me menu toraye menu ngaybe nyin Gambia be nyanta including barola camp mo be nyanta ndolal kaje ko yaje me janimbe kuma do fula yaje me makafo ka yaje me ke defense minister ibadu ka yaje me ke defense minister ibadu ngare kumo jindi era ko be explain no ibe ta mo be sorla mo be jamale be jide ka ibe ta mo be sorla bari ibadu say ning atra Fatmata Jawara ndenga hako men soto Fatmata Jawara ngaw hako kilingol soto mo be nyim banko ka men yalo ko e mantoro soto yaje mala kuro ndenga menke make mo ko le Fatmata Jawara bol kono le ndeko le victim ol Fatmata Jawara victim ol bar ndeka memfo ya jamme mo ma nyanna sila political leader mi yalo ko jama ke la moyle ma nyanna sila ko fon entertain hannen dabo yo kuma sifafo ite fana ma nyanna nala ko kuma sifafo so ndenga ka politician yalo na kuma claim for Gambia no lu la ito le journalist ya muta nyame kiba talal muta nyame wala mu ko kar koten ye dawoto bari journalism ni aji bente sanji tangole ke journalism do ko ibadu ani amanke komi be tarra blato journalism manke ko ndo manke UDP ndo manke UDP no yale ko yara so le pour tola gande ni dara UDP
bani na journalist do la karola ni mandin kani fenke cool wolle mu pour de moti je
bar say
mandin kala
na fongo na dia
so wolle mu yabate bar mem fo ke kan victim ol men ko Fatmata mo man toralo so ya jembele maralo kono muso me yasi ma ko men fata bar men be balwo to bi ay toralo so le wodo Fatmata including them victim wala mati e kono sande nyanda Fatmata fana respect la kono victim do respect nyame hanna tan ni mantra politique party killing hanna tan ni ala miro man killing
mbe wala
miro ete usen na ko interpret na ko amo for directly
ya interpret la ko usen ete for directly
usen sandi kan Fatmata be usen
no Fatmata mantra usen silandi kan
akonna ya samana nalondi
Fatmata kanindrole ke baro bulu listen Fatmata kanindrole ke baro bulu ako
fana yemembo
ako Fatmata yala to politician o akol ka ko tala ya de da al favor that's fine ndala do ko manke
bar memo lafta menna mota baro ning Adama Baro kili yandi nola adu mote misal nola adu mota fula ko ila Kenya lafta mulun na lafana ta kenola Adama Baro birana ta mammo fa ya jembe moje lafane banko kanjam including UDP party dingono ya je dabo UDP kolu anyway for Fatmata sa kamfa because Fatmata jarabo soto UDP le kono nin dabo yin kuma sifa fa Adama mo menka ma misalo ke bir Adama na ne
ya je menu laftala jama babije man lafintala yala munanda because inte when it comes to victim olu man fela momo mante rosoro ya je la karola inte lafta janibe ya je janibe ibatu ndanga memfo wolem ko political nyato gombe yalon ko mo jama ke la moyla imanyanna sila malolem kallo mo be nyaaro jama be rama kafu ya jama na ya defense minister wo manya na sotla bare sign mbe tambela nyum topic wala mbe na murala kayan kacha lafte nyinin kala interview time bitakan man tan jama so
lafa kilina fala don comment dabo ning adam malon ya ning Adama Baro la different full se kilino lafa odlanto la fala
no yalo woto
yalo man itata jabir kala tam
ndamanga jabir
bare lafa kaytan di gambe di nako dabo ay Adama Baro tonyanne because Adama ya jembele UDP party diunu fa men siata momu wante Adama Baro birana ta nan man si serum faja ya jembe lotle no ay mandin kolu neng ay jolalu neng ay fiyan kolu neng abulatanna ya Adama Baro birana ta lay ning toke sanji nani mo nan ma moy ko Adama Baro lotani nana maaje wallahi no nana ma moy kuma kan kanatama journalist sol yasbe ko Adama Baro lay nim fa neng abe moldelu neng kan abe kuma jewol fo kam molema anana man ke dote But no mole yake janne dabo fonga ke 2 times kabula ka kuma jawofo Adam Baroma wona na man campaign bira ay menke America ay menke mennu fota jang wol dol na man campaign anana man fo Fatumata nyimmem foten kafo ko niyana Fatumata mobe yalon ko campagne ya dunje adum Fatumata mem fa nyantala kafo because mole ya
ama ni ko anyanta fola ama nyana because Fatumata fon clearly mol ba dani kan ite fongo beje mo nya bale amati nol ba dani kan ibatu ba dani kan pour akana nyen kumol fo si yeta ya fo ite ka fo nyoko be feal
Amadou Ba mantra Amadou Ba yalla that time Fatumata minute jella diam Fatumata men diam Adam Barrow la kaw diam
bari be Fatumata dano
20 something minute molle be siri babatun kay
ya Fatumata fa mon terma kendel tide
ay no na mo la video to
bari men terma kendol mo na MP la na député la mo
Amadou Ba diam damina yalo Amadou Ba definitely nyindlanto najo komen kono mo kana fo be president be siri ne ko understand Amadou Ba be time I think you know siakala nganta o kala but na ke fanan alanga nyolam puru mo be se diamuno mo kana se janne meeting be ko because nim fatma do 20
wodama manke Amad la problème o nga jela signa jama Amad ka try ka la mol control
Amad tintul control no la kana wo fo
muna natal a control
no kana taw
na do kumo do fola muna natal control Amad ka dan ne pral kana o kuma sifa
fan to dian le ka fo be mo la president to ko yandi la no
so nato that means ato gina la lelo men dia dal dal al yafo
Amadou botte lolan Amad no membe je nka lam jan kam men foy Fatuma Jawra time mo men dia mo la siat adum mobe nyanta diamu la de
tonya no ita be time
siaka na fo bo Fatuma Jawra
ibe time o men foka ibe time o men foka ibe time o men foka
Amadou wultanang ka fo Fatuma de sabu watu patale
ndanko ite be time o men fo hani abe men foka because Fatuma men fo Fatuma ko be male ko kana diam Fatuma fo na rafo ko akate nyim politics sifale no ako mol ben sabarindi kam bante nga nyim politics sifale no concept diam Fatuma wala fo ala diam ko
barsa Amadou Kolle ba yanyin ka because as far as you are a journalist ya Amadou Kolle yanyin ka ban dalil jamal joti na ye Fatuma stop
bari Amadou Ba fo bu dami wala mo be turoba
ani mo be ma moy de nte
itala ma moy bari mo be Amad mo be
as far as you are a journalist you need to call Amadou Ba why you stop Fatuma Jawara inyan so wala kala na men fo ya right ni Amadou ma fo wala ya finka
nga move
me yalla ko dendi
nga move
abika nen kayto la lato wala la dinu audio to wala video wala ntina ni mo bika dunyola because na man audio la time so ni afinga ka fa no ko
nga Amadou Lomba Amad mon
anyway no Amadou Lomba fa Amadou mo kala muta bari no ni akumanda la telephone ta receive ka Amadou mini atne Fatuma fenke stop aba feno ko time wala siata adu mo jamala nyanta diam
so it go time wala wala modla say nga move to order in President Barrow a relationship al diata back president wato do la ka kolea in terms of anem molu men ka interact fanan ka wol tombo mol konole Salif Felenting a lot of people think Salif they kamuta mbo consent but President Barrow meteje ko imu mo consent President Barrow yete jele ko mole me yalan ko iba fasa kanne ibe lo ka fe all the way from Italy ye pleno jo inata jang inaka interactional soro inaka kacha alla ko be nyob kono President Barrow at a personal level inala interactional ala miro iti ala miro je nyaadile ane ya jibe mu mosi fa nyaadile
ko kiline mbe wo fode Adam Barrow nte ajarata nyokuo bella la ko jarata nyokuo bella hanin ni ajarata la yalo na minamu nde mbama kanu bakele de how many years ibe mbama nen kam because of Adam Barrow nte bama ni so manda wulta tata faroro mawuli suto nana ta katran sirota nabi kaje wada sida fatili saba mamba maje ye wonen sanji saba kende ma lunna man sawu e manta bama nen mbama na yo audio doli kiay faka kumbo na be audio kilanya na mine be jarale nyena bira bada ranka ko kakali la audio lamoy nimme yaki afa kakala kinyana akunyo ko no ida ha be ba nan kan nan ka ko no because fitino le be wala wulindi ko da banko kan nimmo be kada daylati banko be malala ko na sanan continue ta kadiyam Adama Barrow ya fanwo jile ko hadama duna mati aya fanwo jile Adam Baro hanala siso atajam fala sakala fura momen fataye atajam fala atala siso la jam fala sako fura momen fataye anana takela Adam Baro hadam madimuna hadam madiya la horoma ya bunya adun hanna to kita dindi wonati ni be diam la be la moy lelale ikam memfo ayela mo ala kendake adu amanka modi me alon ko tul kilo na mati adun Adamu Baro ni banko kanu alafta ka futandi dinkira me yalan ko gambe dun lafta ya futa wala nte bo wala nyine kan sanji jelimbe sular wala o masa sifa Adamu e gambe be kanyandi le fanan jolala muti bang fulala muti bang mandin kala muti bang sarahulala muti bang ja mune kasin kala muti bang fulala fengo feng Adamu a be mutala ko nte mu nyinati ni ko am fulol ta ko mu fulol ni kam mandin ko la ko mu mandin ko ni ko sarahulola mo sarahulo ni ko jolala mu jolala ni ko fengo feng Adamu ya fanke Gambia dingunati
inala personal relationship nara nyade
like aya londa kom bayene adum amalla fi kamo jamfa hanni mu minati ni baya bene na wala long Adama to ibaya bene adu kata nyawnyang ni be Adamu Baro na yelon no koy bayene adu afanen bene adu amene te doyala adu na nyaaye jabalun aba jelal ko men ko abe mutalo ko hadama do abe bunyala fa yedo e fam abe bunya la foye doye fon
mo jama kam memfo wala ko wal mon yalon ko de critics man en ala cool man tanyo kon wala kam memfo wala president Baro ni aja ay kole ko so ala maralo ko wala mo kensangolu idiots ay wala chikaye nakinda fanna men yalon ko ite fang advice no la fang comme mo me ma ya fa yamar no ni te o mo si fa nakende fanna you are look inviting trouble yo kumo yo
men ko fa se keno wala mo idiots ti because mo moje nin dinkrado me mo kensonti mo be Adama Baro balebe damin to itarata jele adu ye kulangan ye bankoe Adama te mo nakin la bale membe Adama la sama tinyala Adama ko amanna nim banko kan kasi sanji tansaba wala sanji muwang wala sanji talluru anata do ko wala nala wato sita katale Adama ye wala fo so nim moya miran ko molleba asa keno kunu mollel babal men yalon ko wala mo wolde bare kunu nyaajal molbe je men yalon ko malla fi development no yodi pila mol men be tarta man sakunda kono kunu wala tarta men man sakunda kono ka Adama sabotage maybe de kadiyam wollel be wollel fo kan bar bi wol man taraje wollel beje yes ngolo ko be kan
bari sai banko
ka banko ko mbatum kam men foye nim ke bar beje le no man tra do ko la ibebe minela no Adama ba wolindi no la nyaadi len besira maybe no kam men no fo be diam ka wollele bi wol man taraje bi mo wollel beje men nalan ko ye banko kan like Ibrahima Silla ni akol wata be dan ko le mal ya nyinin ka mine be office kare mine be Adama la bunkon mine be jane sulata fam fel lonna ni banko la koto iya ali Ibrahima Silla kol wata be dan ko le mal ni ministry li men nalan ko be Adama bul bi mbe mol fole Amadou Baba la do ko la min diba abe do ko men nayno la min diba malom min ala ministry fera ban kon wo fana be do ko men environment mo li yajel bari non be kaje no ni safarin kaytol bala wolbe lonno la nyaadile mbe waline la official le kono ne interview wallanto non na kol ke dinkraldo kenyinin karo ko mena karo be mena kuto e ben to lele do ko la adu walla do ko nyanda findla la mo nyaay like Ibrahima ko la talbe mo diam lat e ka ko ninna official don dolbe kam ma kam boje mena beje membe ja ba flene ba safala birim bi fo sameta ban wodin kala ko ton bona bi idiot mantra Adam Baro la man sakunda kono de mo fuuri mantra je
ala private advice wallo yol je nyaade because ala private advice al mo le problem mo so wala la comme ko wallu wala mo kan sangalti medum ka advice privately not necessarily come men for minister
ani même for no le jab sayna la private advice like what
private advice al men ka advice political carola like ka advice men ite lonne
e kam men no fo ha bi ni wolu dolu mantra je malon Gambia bi tam bira min tole because maybe tam wala dia do ko la imani wala do ko la quality le long imalo wolbe min do ko la Adama Baro
e mana do ko
understand
e mana do ko la o fam mole
ya long
because false min tolu ma ko
men fo ma moto fan bar wol mod ko be fo may nane ko la baye nyin ka ko mod kan nyin falma foto nyande pour ye findina ya senandi wallanto no isa fo ye yasa
Allah advice atije President la man sekunda ko advice tigi me ya lon kon te man na telephone ci kam men call ma men invite
bari nan ma suffering
bari sa ni man na dum
iman na bari
ni man na dum te te ka bula mo kili wono non nin kom mo moy ko telephone interview ka fu ñelo okay ibadu nga fek arrange wo arrangement wona na buka ke when it comes to government tonya
e kamen fo
the reason why a lot of people can accuse ka fo mo le ko al mu UDP lati waral mo opposition because wolel ka sawar UDP warang opposition ye Paul Brown ni ko interview e ka borna ne ibatu bara Allah government Allah man sakunda nga experience okay na government ika struggle la ka mota sanji fulala before ba so don wala lu ngono aka bisiri ni dara la office ko ne buka la be mum
Ibrahima Silla ko li yanyen ka be ka office ko no Ibrahima ba
no it's not about Ibrahima Silla because Ibrahima Silla nanga kuma kilim fo nanga kuma kilim fo
government na spokesperson
nanga kuma kilim fo
ani mbatun ka damin to fo I know him very well yo kuma ni dawda like nte bi mol man la modol kon kana na jang nda fane miro sodle Ibrahima nan ka kon ka fa kana tan ndin kra kare because ñin ni nam yalla na kamina fo mbatun na taje ka kuma kenso men fo moluye nata na ko yindi mol be la moy la adu mol be taral la moy rola Ibrahima ya kuma ndi dawda e ka menno fo mol la ibe do ko ke kam political la karola adu menno ka fo mo kenso na modi yalla ne men ne ko fo because kunu ni wol tata nun ko kilinne bi wo ini mantra ku killing wo mo kenso men no kafu bi wolle li la patiote wolle li o patiote bi ibi kam ibi mbika fe akuma fode wolle li kunu wolle li UDP patioti Gambia banko kanya bi wo mo kenso men no kefo wolle li NPP ke NPP ti ye UDP patiote e kamen fu mo kenso no kamen no fo imam mo to fo barinte yalla ne be men no la bi wolle li UDP wolle UDP patiote ni ade yalla ke ba
advice la do go man ke patite yalla advice la do government advice la do government wala ka bank wala problem mo understand
iko political advice political la karola ka advice ni wala politician wala mat political advice ibo wolle
but for political advice la do government wala ka volte ka patiote
ka mol kumanda ya wala mala do ko adu nay kuma ndi ke dan ko amale na ma motu je sa wo mante o man ke komen ko no yalla ay mol kuma le ye dan kama yalla ka kamen fo mu toñaat ye dan kama ye ni su ko to men treje ya kenson do lorenje wala keda adu wala mo inyanta wala kela bayre kunu ilo tay ko ini men be do ko sanyi mo wonnen fula e ka fa ko no nyantan kese kilin na bo nyanta moto o bi kat na geyo du nyanta mona alma ale ne man ka far ke lamina arda boy nim maymuna sisa dabo ay do ko men ke nim UDP pati yoy hani la piko follow atele ase mbe dabo la korda dum ala korda fe dum aja
Allah ko kuya na da dum
kan kan boy
kuya na da dum
bato hani so demande mo me bata be ke iko tele ni wakati yandin koma nyimo ke silo kan je yanata amerike ye kamfa foka fo nyantan ke se kilinna bo nyantan modo o be kat na jiye dum afele bi nyantan
ko kilinna beje kuya na kuya wala na kuya man betea because kuya nanada aka problemo nati badi mal temal atol be mu cleanate no al nada al kuyata so nal kuyata then kuya o mu kuyalti so ko kula kunta kuya kon wala na kuya mo betea bari mem fola ye fana wo fana kuya kule kuya sabu itela jero to mune kuya sabu
me ye kuya sabu
because atol be mu cleanate no
la be je nyanda wolon nale yalon alfa dam ma ta hanni dingona mat ni aka man sata la ko allahumma malikil mulki tu'til mulki man tasha ala le wofo atala mun man so ada kam man sadi mole la men diata wa ala le adam boro tombo mo ma long abeni banko kanjang aya kinye president fa adam boro man adizap moya horma ba yabu nya bang yela dimba advice ya horma yabu nya ko man salamat bayno ite be tarraja nyaadile ila dimba be nendirol la ibe wo alfa nenna ibe kuma jowol flama mo nan ma mo yesto ba lunkili yo foy do no ta fon kamfare ko men ndine yo foy
so ita ko be ban fo da boy wala ke da boy wala
ya non tam yes because biring
da boy wala ke
ku ya ngi kala ben jamale muy bayta wala na muy no yakumbalo program moti jam yakumbalo program moti no fengo wala ne ye bay bar waya tara mine be ke kan waya tara nendrobe sanji kan adam baro kan e camera kilon diu e ko na san
to president baro tara yo
fo dol ka fo ko ka nyante dahala because president ya fo man jaranya gambe diu ni yakato fay meye e ka wuli kan ning because of mina witla personal interest wala modola interest adun dabo nye right so wo time wo dabo nyanta wullale kamol stop ibe jang ibe social media biriyan kuma dinna mo kilim fonjo wol konole aka safro ka kafo ko lamini jaye Salukemo Baro kumandle prainen dro sanji ka se jindi Usain Daboka no ntela alfal man kulu wala adu Adama Baro ka fon tolina ko alkana monen hanni me yenta bane ninnen dro me barata li tuala ali ala jibe ala be minekela la siya wol fonye adu nyinang fela no man sanjo fonsi patio nyim fela be burukata UDP tela santo da yejñinen karo kaje woleta nen kombo UDP be damen bide ino mo kane fanjele ko UDP fenne be bul mbuka fiya kuma fo e burkata UDP be damen do APRC bo yal nan taka men ndabe na molu taka men fo e bi NPP anna nyomuta nak bakini fa kilimoti nan napati yota ndol be maralo krejan sanji taw warwula na diata man satalla sanji taw warwula NPP adum be kuma kilim fo de o base min tole fo lale si bota ya base min nda base damen tole mo nta auto fole bara fo evidence bon nta auto fole evidence bon nta auto fole bar sanji taw nanim fole no den pati yoto be fole na fole na audio murtan na fo na audio Jumale ofo. You understand? So no mba fole 70 years Jumale ofo. Mbo fole jampana. Adumba kuma NPP going to rule this country for 70 years. Inshallah. 70 long. Inshallah. Nadia Rahman satalla. Adun lafta menna. NPP dewnu annaka kilindi. PPP fere no ya jembe ya fa. PPP fata. UDP fela fata. Adu UDP tole ka. NCP to fota janna fela fata. NPP te kelo nyama. Because tolu ba wolle nenta nempatio adu nyata mo jele nempatio tinya wala ntinde no han momo en ndroke nempatio kono be bu dismiss la from be bon la napatio kono le yem wala alfalu ne amanke dalil kan non ibe bo patio kono le because nempatio alfal malle fi wala pour moy mo nen adu no be alon ko bi gambia lam dron bar gambia dum be kam mo nen gambia dum be kam mo banen bar foru moy lo banen dro ka sanji ka seji ibe ka la moy no fanen dro ibe ka la moy no ni fimu jene fimu ke dundila mu baylo kono men sita fo sanji fimu talulu e koy lafta ila memory e fandan ko do kana Adam Baro fasa no jumala ko ga yudi pin ko le yak yo ke jumala ete ya ken talale ya ken ñun kemele fanana di yalla tilo kono kanda dundi ti arar 600 nim bolon ba kane wulen ani fen ko no balo ka min dole mo bamba dinga si nyaajel yalla yenta dundi je mbadu na pare ni interview la ni pare tam be screenshot le bi banen do jelle be sanyi kasa ji kandena jannim be programme da dambe siri nyanna mo balo be mbul mo dole message o kinyana na messenger ay message fe nyana no nto yitandile la mina pour kan UDP ko la be UDP ko la pour kan na fit fa kanake adu to nyanta me understand sanji nani be men banen kana mo murko ita be mina kala wala bi mbenna man sa ndol ni yob kapya ni be bari Allah ni NPP malal ka ke nyaade le bari amen kodo bal bulu ado Africa politico ni kodo soro ela ko kata nyaado bari bara tolo isa memfo ha mafa also for be ke role bari men ka fa la ko wala ko atol ka tale ka kodo di molla ka mol sang ka kodo di molla fal ko wala ka ba aka mo sangal ko nane audio moy bangino birin kumo fo datita nim bi tema men ko ya audio samba ya ko dol samba nyenang e ko nadu la pati ko birin ko fo datita wala nane mo ja video banda ko Adam Baro la mol narje ni nangam le dinna e ko pour nadu la pati ko ala no manke la min njaay minemu mol ya toñale je mol ya yurwale je mol ya Adam Baro le je ikon na meeting la donc kudol di mo la pour yana na meeting la me alon ko more than 2500 people ka benje mbe jella di la wol be na kilin mo kilin na man findi wor yudi pin kan na man tarawdo mem benta ko do fe yudi pin ka kilin na man taw meeting do pour kan na kumo dam malama benta ko do tala fe la ni jay kumo dol be jeno wol man jara na discourse wala wol mo history la din kana auto nata kata do bar amanke kodo ni ko kodo be mbul afoy ko yela patiol wafimma mbela patiol sangala kodo be mbul tol na mansata kodo balbule wo clearly kodo balbule but même for not necessarily kataka kodo di ali momo be dat be do kale kodo di la baral ka ko molle le jibe men yala le jiko sote la karola ko se mo sino alla patioma al ka kodo cika al kadi walla la men jay iyamira mine be jarala nyembe kodo sikala mbadi la walla bari nga mol jele opposition wolo
menu family yo claims si fal ke ka funti ka foko ha NPP na rande kan ne ko nyin nangam
jamale kile moti
akata no GDC la chairman regional chairman membe siara
ako jamale kile
ako alla moltata noma se humbalo akara ra noma ikay ko ni fengam be wiltal lul di
last time se kumbala na tajana ya nyinen ka ko sono nyin
na nyinen gala ko toñante bare sa ning o do ba foka
imalla
eno political strategy manana lala mo la jam kare ko nyin
mbado nanen kuma ko fo nani mem fotan e ba jela no asekono bi fo moy audio de la ko hay natante normal ya ko rodina because of am moy ndala e ko understand ndiya je no UDP ko le strategy kilen so anta fona nyamere no 2017 audio do leje hani say no ko le findine ka nte birin Adam Barrow sita ndiya mute mandanko e kon tolle be tiñaaro la yekuma jawol fo na monata audio fintinde wala video ko salu nane nyina fo nyimma Adam Barrow ma wala fo tenende barin tarta men ne wala nyindi kamine ke audio kotol wala mo sama nan mo mam men kangolong ya bula kuma fo me ya lonko agence Adam Barrow ñun bo le ke kan adu ite ya be men fole Adam Barrow manke tiñaar laati ne Adam Barrow mo tiñaar laati ñantolo na sanjinani Adam Barrow misil me sahonati me yang tinante Adam kanu nanata bula noma. You understand? Adam Barrow salwato ya de no birina nin kombo aerial dati na aransaro salle akasi meeting la nin fitro ya tara meeting kono ay ta ala fitro sali ay murna ala minister bebe wala nyam
bari ku kam fana beje men ka falla ko wala mal kam men ke fana wala mo na le meeting no soro comme because ala meeting no fana nga korosi ko klen shara je wala defection oti oh mo keme wala boda GDC sound oh mo nangam la boda UDP sound oh ni mo nangam wala boda UDP wala ko ina ra sound NPP bari nga report so na tableau kan ko al katale nal lo rambe do kana le molje tambela aliye al ko ko al na le lo aliya fondol mo NPP le o UDP le al sound tale kal ka wala
menan tol manke kido to den tolle kana nyina kon tolle mo man sade nim banko kan kana nyina ko Adam Barrow la patio ka Adam Barrow le be nim banko rule kan kana nyina wala mo kana kuma do fo yela wala nde mo liyan kol na minute 300 people ibota GDC be nema fo dola kundat lemba yen kumande ni nyanta midon sotol ibota GDC
mo keme saba that's a lot of people o mo jamalte da
e ko understand so no wolu ñong nelte banna ni ko mol ka saw ni da teta naw jara lando jara madina mafa oto no GDC la dipitol saw taji oto ni mol finda mitin la ni ko ni mo nangam le boda GDC nara e ko understand e mo nyana lalo wala bam adu GDC fa na dipitaw jelle be bo kayno ka ikana adu yo confirm le dipitaw me alon ko mol le karro fa wo bota le pati oto damendo ni ko ni mo nangam le boda je jamal nyanta o soso la dipitaw me alon ko ital la pati o si palmenoto wo bota le pati oto abe mansa support kan iko ni mo nangam le fanam bodo je mimbe mansa support kan ita ko bo sosola adum benen fole GDC la taka fo bake barin kalta manso wala momen ka bo UDP suto nen tilo wo man bo GDC
wala siara
nta bika suto sino birin nata jam
so ko UDP farale ndale wo adu momo ya soso la fanni benen tabilo kay yesin nasi Salukemo Baro nte mo nenna nta kuma jaw fala moma nta alifa nenna nta wuliya fanam fala because nta tula nin dunya kon. But niman la wala after the election ini beni interview kala jam because mbe campaign be kala janne na der ala mbe tan be murana mbe campaign ibe murla
ni be murana jang
ibe murla Italy
ibe murana be campaign kala adun ni be silani office ko na jang iba fala nyako salu yenyim fole adun biya fela kala mba abe kala adun momo la fa ni ye benja yenna kumola soso na mengo yena ni ye benja
nga model fala moy mem fala ko salu mo nyama toldi salu be Italy la mon ko tay no je wala sale aussi janga sayda nam because
can you please give me my phone na mobile dinana
ha ila mobile iba sotale
okay non la fa fenne itandi le
bari be live
no bara bulaje
be live just explain
katambital ha men ko fo walla li yentalon katambitala ibe diamol ndam professional ko kolate sanji waru lambe tabiro la tubabo ko e kanjo men na wolu nta so wolu jonole sinya fula man na ko do banjola soto nta so wolu jonole sinya fula adu kana mi mbe sirin to Gambia jang ibenta jokan
back in Italy
ha iben jokan nonu men ko fo nte se jonole sinya yaade men kan nyim fo ani nin ndrole be sirin buna ko no mantara fenna ko mbota Europe den nalo be je Gambia du kasi silo kay no $4 min kanje ko fenko no Cristiano Gambia du na to fo wala al korda fo wala bonsum fo isa kumbo billahi wallahi tallahi nata wallel be modu nenke ko ma jo fo kan Gambia din jelante mentra kanene mfona ko kodo dila nena kindi nan se sika se pour même bat ne be nyina nyin dola nte be ko mo sifal entertain bari non ka kelante be damen to woli ento nan tam jamale ntabe sato men ni la fe yenta long tubabolu nyirin ka jamal musalewde e be mem folo na dino e bo la fon folo mo be kante yabde ibe ni wuro be la mo ba fala no ba fala le ba kala ten ha ino be dankaro se hande saja baro bira fare audio bulale ko san Salukemo Baro taji man ra balori fala gambe banko kanyam be lamen na office ko lamin kana nyunu danko nakuru tele mfan sun ko dambe wala lo kan farata ko na jang ni la fa saman ne sambaje yeta na buji
no I think akumada yenyinu because a lot of people think that you are a useless person
ko fanan dintal nde ko da so wato adam manke president
de la cordasa
no cordasa iko adam le cordasa nde nada jan serum iko adam e motola dinna biriya ibrahima diba bay a saudiya wentara banko kanjan ito le yana wansi ko ha adam kadante ke councilor de saudi ni mo kilunu imammalu han sai be fanya fa ya mire no nyunu manya na malla sai ba
ite be steering da
batum yalo ko fendam bulu ko la fa
ko fente bulde ko mo kensen olti useless person
ko tuwa budula kolyata ma wolen sija
wala
ko ma bakilim fakilim me ba ben taranji be kanja Usman Baro bakilim fakilim me yen sara sunjor nda da sama tuwa budu ko do ma muso bakilim fakilim Baro nyomi da be sirim block le block ntele a dinke ke ba lamini nja ntele asamba tuwa budu sonna men ma ko ento wol fal mun do ko lelti no na ke yene dunia be samo no problem ma ke ko ben jolal ni mun di wonalde because ala sistala dunol na fawle bonka nam men ke non to be fala mbo fala ni media to yalon konte man ke mo furinde mboda so men kono kiyanji faro mfa man na buna lo ay nan ko da timba fenska
din kan dole bo ken absolutely din kan dole so
kam mo men na fa jifaron sada kono woli ya lonne moti dalo jifaro ko salo iten fo ni ben to fo tan fama to la because jifaron ben ta falon men no mantelo wollel kanne kam fanen e kam bonsu
be melon na melon
e ke fam fo mo fane men melon so kam fam fo tollele tol men
pour salon who is I think this is very important this piece of information
kane dan ko tam na kalo dunna Facebook ko no e ba jelale na competition ol ke tabiron nen tuba bolu na seconda na tata wol be kada Europe len nen tuba bolu
ngela Facebook jibe la ngela tabiri fengol jele and all of that
nka competition mo sandiza man ka competition ol ke men kada fo safe tan saba safe mo nka competition ol nka fo seconda tano wol kono
Italy itabe base ring Italy le Italy Gambia boys all share je men yalon ko dara bako yella and aka kole aje baake adum men ka fo wolam ko amen jama bi je man kay ti soto be bataro nje and all of a sudden to add insult to injury ko President Baro be fair wala ke kan wala maskunda fair wala ke kan in tuwa bolu European Union ka boys all send now ini boys la interaction o je ite me yalon ka president la agenda push ka la interest push ba nim boys ni kachada boys kamun kuma sifa la foye president Baro na la mansa kunda la ko
non to be sato mendo woli no Adam Baro la bor because non tene mo be la ka keno adam be oto nyamem fana manke kono mo furinti je manke mo jawti je e ko understand adam manke moti ben ka jutu mo la fana be sato mendo ntama mo jawto ganbe dem membe Adam Baro agence la adum birim nim wulta fanan tar tamul ala kam bendi mennu fe wol fanan ka ak Adam Baro face à la lelti so mennu ka wurta nyamre wol kata siri la bonnel kono be wurla bari anin social media ko non melbe Facebook ni kam mo wili klina Facebook ko mo wili lul be deri Europe kon wol be ka diam e man lef moye fenki wol be ko la duma ni ka contact wol ka diam
in fact wol be busy ne be do ko
wol busy ne be la do ko do kun taw ne be ni manya bela ya mo do je wol kama sala man lef kamo pass kamo kama sala bar mo do bennen kan kam men na safiro fote ka fon kana usen ne wakam menke kamol la fa fenkol tano aka container fenkol ke way momen kasara ay momen kasara gambe dewno kono billahi wallahi ta'ala na ta container lan ta to fala because man la fi no
sa daga munake aka munake
wodam ma be walla ka bor mol la mo bi kaji abe sirin jama ana la muso
sade wo
adum nana ya moy da bo katen wala diamo kono katen do kaje abe do ko kenno nan walla ka Adam Baro ne suto so birin so manda fati do boy
wala ka Adam Baro le
birin so manda fati do
bar sa ibe mem foga wala ko boy sol ito buga boy sol moy be complain ka ko Adam Baro na mas ko ndala te sen lanan ibu ko ito ko mo e ka mo Facebook bari de da men saro
sirinta wala fotaninde non te bi ko moy wol be la hajo le be la do ko wala naal gita weekend wala be nyoka ni manda do ko lume ko yemo ko le ka wonna na hata amin la min jang kam mem foy mo felingo wol ka to felin Adam Baro Adam Baro mo ngani yo soro pour gambe dune murna nen so kono jang yatara sirino te fenna adama yalu nako gambe banko kan bi fenten to bulu europe tala le len kenol be sang ibi do ko ke kan gambe be nyiñaren ni wol be murundi nan bi gambe be kala nyaadi ni man do ko soto adama fali amira adam bi ko to miraba adama se jawya nyawo nyang hani ya dembe fana mo ke
ato kala am
hani ya dembe fana fon mo woke mo ko men na jawya ko mamiro fon wo fon wo ngani yo soto
tani ya jambe data di anala ko abada deportation ko ada
to men ke jamal bokar adama ya lon ko mo lele ni baku ta yes they can set biru musen dawo beje bari no mo le o jela bari to do fala dabo fon fintala ko nyim fan yande UDP TV and media ko e kanyim mem fo kuma ken sonam aman sign adam ma fen hanna tar non na fon kal buloje kala bal
Salu, oh, okay. Saying, let's also talk about time of Itaga. But nga diamu kukrim fana na me alonko abidending President Barola aning komika kumol menufala jamfa ko President Baro niate jiba na renyame anana taning silo menna ning kumu ning kul tara nung as planned kom ko tara nung atara nung anyata tala nyame bi Adam Baro fonte kala gambela nyaran ko because Adam Baro plano menti fero menti wala ma sanyi sabake IG but sa bring sanyi sabo bina sila President Baro ka ya abaile akati abaila te sanyi lula kala luwa wala diala woye ay noise jamas I mean kumo siata problemo siata o karola barana rasam wo ko la na to make 3 years jonna wulta jane group bolke e karab bolke president le continuer da la winta de ado han sa beje yewol kool de nyaadi le comme president le kangodi no gambe banko la kata be sanyi sabakala sa president fele aba sanyi lu nyon ko bar hani wo fonte sa president la fakala ka continuer ko 2021 abe winale sa president sa betu mo kay president kra lifetime president if you like yo de nyaadi
lanen kumo ko nyinen karo anyway abete ara 3 years jonna wakamun tante fe history le design comme kule mo to tambita history la moti namiro to nyantata adla dol to men o mankle bar ne je nyinen kambita jel understand la minin jay banko la constitution o woninta la personal interest wala la personal miro anit la personal miro anin someone na personal miro ma miro wol nyanta tembele de nyanta wol suman na biran kinon kono wala bilancha kinon kan bilancha ka fo nyadi bilanche ka fa nyadi ka sumandre la ka borolo ni men ka yamano ka ko ya suman kilo jella ka fa nyadi
wo ndafa mamra we call mo what I don't know about that but then let's go bilanja okay so Italian come moy back
ka Italian
come ka for how
so e ka understand fo woli nyanta kila mo woli nyanta continue la Italian miro Gambia duna mo yes na respect
ndase même for
ndala miro na respect mbado ntaminale na miro na respect someone else la miro na respect le bar sa banko la buko me ya lonko le mu Quran fla nyawten to la banko kanim Bible fla nyaw na banko kan fenna ni wonyanta kuntak la ba o man nyanda kala fos adama baro la ngan yolo mu nyinte fo ayita adama baro nana ayita la fanko ning ayata nun ka se keno banko la buko sondala nun mbe wulla na sironi usenda ba banko la buko na sontala o banko la buko la balanta pour adam baro e ji sanji sabo gambe banko kanja ani gambe diwni men nan ko carte fay mo wili lolo wala findita kada dentim bridge ka fa adam baro ko be sabat la janne yela sanji lulo timmandi na carte fay kote ke yela sanji lulo do fanan timmandi gambe do na ko adu nejo bent latol how many thousand yemen jo bent latol
Asiatam.
Adung 3 years jot na fanan tan neje je auto fana wala
ina yo viro la auto fana
ko understand ani
yaji betale
naji bele bar be menna sai fo nyin gambe diwni men ala ko finta 3 years la ani men finta 5 years la wala be man ka banko diwna te bani be man right le soro nim banko kamba
be right soro
men atna benyin dollar right 3 years mo la right benyin dollar right tulaje adun kitabo ya fonye me alon ko kilala kumol moti misil me am nyanda fola ko lahidi o lahidi na tata amanta alala silola anin kila sunno e nyowali ako batra lahido la mati lahido nyi manya na tala
so nyi lahido manda silolo is that what you're saying
for ay qur'an wala sikaye kaliban kom be jila sanji sa
no but lahido manke qur'an sikati
ite qur'an siko mu lahido la
no menna lahido do is a qur'an o sikano wala but lahido generally typical lahiro jama babije abokaka Quran sikat but ala fango yinata même fo woto wala muko al sall lahiro timmandi alkamen tamandi nyotem
kuma kan bol
bari ni lahi do ni kilala sunno me ka fo ani all of that ani wo man nyo wali nyoya at all because ni constitution o jibe ni bankola maral kitabo jibe akole ko 5 years ako momo ye carte fay ase maralo ke for 5 years ala mandate be clubmente wala 5 years but constitution o ma fo ko wo nyanto kala diaku ya ni make ibe muta ye samba mal tu constitution bibila la fa ni winda bibila la itala sa no ni aji be te do ko keno e se fo nyano la carte fay ko
ni gambe dun
abe wala nyam
gambe dun jawra lafta jira gambe dun
so stay in power wala tole imawo mira ba
ndollo ko adam boro te jira
wa so wala na ablagal no ma
ndollo kata jira jawra lafta jira janne gambe dun nal ko jawra tenten banko jawran tan adama kabe jilan kaye ma ku jawke ima tlimbali yake ima do ku bali yake iko na sanne ibe banko samba ko alul la fetele tambi nyaado ndol gambe dun nal yo fay aduna rasul la kavo wala adama wakilindi atambita nyaado adun ka ko ni tambita nyaado manam be fa salal wala atina hanbi mba fa sa kan narama muru ko nimmo le right men soro nimbe individual kelol la because you know ye kare bayle kari manya na bayla wala kari mu nyinate amanya na bayla wata ni man tama sakunda kono adam baro nyanta finta stay house kono wol man tare fona kelola de e man tare baro wala kelola de e man tara e mamo wala kelola e man tare la siola kelola e man tare no ila bonsuna kelola ya no be mina kelola mo killing na interest kari do stay house because no man do stay house ro man sama sor game banko ka din kar mo man ke man sa no president banko ka wala ne ka fa sino lale mu ado ku ata do kula because he left a meje taje wala man taje
ade kaga domro ke bake
ye
ku fa foje ye ku fa
wala men ko fo nana sita kondo miran kino kondal be na do morta
hani nana man domro
to nyindiro lemo because he left a karle taje kare dum no
bar yala dépense oje nyaadi de
ala dépense
ko 150,000 e wala lok allocate every day at la dépense o walti wili keme wili tallulo president ko bole domola na la state house dun kewlo yo ko do je nyaade
matu na foye adama baro ka momen balundi momen ka balu state house o kono si hadale amanke ko adam baro na la dimba dam mala beje so jarul beje le nyaaye jele e ko understand e be ka balu jele do kulal ka do ngori jele ni kata je bo lon na wala to adama baro ko adama ma kumoje adama e do kulal la jolu la fa janna no fana nyinen ka bang ay la fa 100% do kulal ke jo 100% wol ka tele adama mum man salati bi adu no afona jo ama fona jo talawa aman ke janno ba mbe ya kala muta janne bar minan dam bi ko wol fon kanyin dinkira kilonu jibe adu non dinkira to nalon ko stay house adama nim fatu ba nim fenke wol dam mamanta do mor kawoto mollel be sabati nje lungolun je man bodo jella ka domoje do kulal beje drifol beje kondo ke tara jele da samo ke tara jele simon ka dol tara jele wol be ka balule ne o konde wol be kala jellati anna mira ndolla bunu kono nka jello do mo tilo nda Salukemo Baro nka finde nimbida kiyam wili tanni lulu nka kana jifo kono tilnani nabi kam murna wili tanni lulu nda Salukemo Baro mbe kala jam billahi wallahi tallahi nallahi wato dole ni wil mu wankata jifaro na sato do mbama boda damindo tilindani nabi kam murna yalla mina ko sabu wulu sato le mo jindi mol be sularinde adu nim mol yeje ke mota fenne be wul sako mansa nda salu be doyarente nyame e mol kon tamanke fendi nda kulu bari at lambe tan beta bari na moje la kanta dal nda fon sako bi me ka mol kamera non kon ka adam al fasa wat adam ka millionol dina mfon ka mol sonna ko dola billahi wallahi talla ni ku ya yen soro na mo so ko dola kana fa ko adam baro la fewna be adom na ko do men do ku tubabu du na be janne so wale ka ko no adam baro
sale that's interesting
man fem fa mari
ya tuje same ba so
la mari ya damoy abalon na ko men ko batal
adila amandia
no amandia because non tay o do kule ndaka bulbe non katan ka do ko ke nka munna so kon na molu bari na di tele ka fani ko adama la fewna be atala
do bara fo adama ka ko do di la ba
adama be ka ko di den tala
anana man ko di
adama na man transfer
anana dala sidila
adun na ma da
bara nta fada nga tonya ni mo jama be adam baro dala mo jama be adam baro dala adama
na man ko di den ba nen adama han million wala dinna lamini jay mba mutalal with confidence hani nanata ni ku yani ni
bare ka bulo jatale abuka ko di
yo mena wala
mo jamale o fonte me ala la NPP mo le ko di dara president baroya dol fongol kata yala pour ay ko do dila ba ni fura radio ro ko president baro le folo ka wosi ka fo alen so douala
alhamdulillah
alen so douala be sulare ko dola e ka ko fole na NPP mo jamale nga
alhamdulillah rabbil alamin NPP ko lo
bare fo president bulo nyanta jala
to NPP ko
fo president bulo nyanta jala
because banko la karfo la babul na fo janan ko Umar bun Katabu kay
barage mo so na personal fongla
Umar bun Katabu e kay ko itele nenta ko de bi Adam Baro yen so wili tawna iba se fela newspaper to aba abe mirala komen ko Adam Baro e banko la kodole ta aya dintala adu mol mina wala fala ko ima ka banko la kodol di nyuna wala ke dun diamo nda kam maluka adama danen katara siri njam ko di ko kamuda nimba kele no yalon bari no nkam me mira nina adama danen kan so kodola aba fala ko to nin kam fasa kodola atram ba fasa kan sanyina le bemba nen kala ko adu nina danen nyantale ka danen nin adama ya dinambe proud lalale because mol ka fanya mbade on ka fanya ko noto be nyim fasa kay bika fen soto je ibe bane na comment bika fen soto je mol ko fanya mfo na bade on ka fanya e ko na san ibe ta bane na nyinne bika fen soto je mbade on yekundu na because nka adam barol soko mbade on yekundu na because nka adam barol soko
bari fo ko jartete wala ba
ibuka
ibe bulare no ko de dile buka fen
adam barol ko jarata nala banko la ko jarata nyala e ko na san because NPP la ko jarata nyala yaje no banu Israila la history ni aje kila moli amara kun ka kal fama banu Israila kisa to fula hadama duni nka kal fama ka karan kule asam because kaw ku jamal kada banu Israila kul men kada banu Israila walla li nyaat li ngambe banko la janno ka ala dato njaw ya ka fo ala ko ntolle li dañi ni ne manya na ka banu Israila ko na de ala dani no pura kila dila men be kelo kile be bulala no be kelo kala ano ala ya dile balanta kabula no makakelo ale masi bol boy kan ntollele ala danen kay ko mari man satalla nim banko ka sina wona bejam nim banko ka mo fale bejam nim banko ka lonna be fere bortay no mera londo do ko no nim banko ka mari man satalla modinna bam men fi sara banko la kayro mum menti
sale sa dunda history
ale adama baro dinna nkana fo ale ko manyen nan nyinkala walla ka fo ale me ke ko lam fo ala da yar mena nen ala kamparan tol kam mayno atakala masi bod barkida fo nyal ala ya folet ye modol ya mari ye Jibril ki kafo dol kanne pour ale yankankade so man nani fudani ale yankankade bira fuda raje ako ale ko non nam mola tara nyin dinkirato me alon ko lonna bala mate ala batla bala mate fon sa ibe nyin oda dilana banna na o mo jawol ni o mo kendo be arama nyola ne be fa ala kay ko ne yaman men na tiake be fa kay be halak akay ko mina kera akay ko biko sanya be klendi le be kuri yala be tinyaro la banko kan be fasiki abaro la banko ka be deering amaf wala ntol dun diam wala adum be konne la kadiam tan mo jele ni banko tika because nin alla kamfana ta mo karla de mo kendere mo fo mo jawta ta mo kar so woji wayata na jartanye ka adam baro fasa kallu ay hanna dam badon be kuntlan nan donc ay continue do that bi dolbe taranji be ke be tar campagne bari be mina no laje Salukemo Baro be entelon dol ikadiam ko mane no bay kewle be doyaren bari no ala le demaro to mbikan ko jenke ko nyaay non nan mon
ko ko jenke bari sa en kukilim fana bije ni haji president Baro la miro lafta yo la fana sata mo le demande
wala mo gambiat
ani mo fo because ni president Baro jibe 2016 brim president Baro fintika ndol mu journalist solati ndol ma nyana tara laro hanni be laro fa nyanta katala yela kato bege mo kanalo bari nga jele ntol fon les semaines tu yando menke president Baro prake president oti gambianolu menye Baro fasa foi tata foi carte fay yae ngamira la fobe danta woto kalafi mola politiko ko na be danna wala ila carte ke so se ka ya diala ndela carte ke so ngadi president Baro la ndela carte wala fay so wodon tete president Baro nteta konna warante la fi na yala bari na ala miro lu anaka tamandul kanyade I can have my reservations I have every right to prongo soro ngaje ngani ku ya soro the way abe call tamandika adum every Gambian yo financial right soro le pour yeta ye jiko sembala ye la fala ye la carte di ala na radio ko ndola en jiko tip ay na jikla tendele ye sabala bari president Baro fana molu men yalon ko wol man carte faya number 1 wolu kabring at the outset wol na mal la fala ya itandi kene bato koy mal la fala doli la carte fa dol man carte fa munu bi wollel mu president Baro la fam bi wollel be nyaato iko wollel je everywhere ba fula Baro
give me one name
no nte mo to fula bari wo shata je men yalon ko wolu nana man carte fay president moy
mena mol kam e kam même foy mol fo kam
no nte man tra mola kuma fo kam nte nga nyinu be jele nga ñunu be jele nte nga molu jele nte lu be ñi sato ko do jande nga molu jele men yalon ko wol yele lafina bali ay tan di president Baro la le wo wato 2016 bra dula dole ya fay APRC le dole tata GDC dole wol bre UDP soute coalition ko roy ñembuta coalition tata ya fay GDC dole ya fay APRC bi wo mol bi wol ka muta ko to le lafta Baro la nteni do ko tam yalon bintol mal ma muta ko ba ka muta so te president la miro lato bi president la jeroto ani wo molel be ku kling ani wol be diare bakale wo mol men yalon ina na man carte fa na dan dawol drone ata winna bare bi wolel be lori president Baro president Baro la a jakarta wolel la yo je nyaade la lo miro
la men jay yalon nita ko fata wotata na carrière fa kuna man fa
wodo na man lafi mu meke nte ko walla nte ge nyini ka walla
ila fitale because wole to nyori ndita boraje wala nanko mola ko tat nante nyori na ba Adam Baro bala after the non nan drone ko men be so mo tanta kamfande no fonte kamfa ngom ko Adam Baro la bala aw miro tan na folo adum bi ka ala dani wala lamri jay no nite karto fay ita ko e kamfatle because wato ito bi ye mirano madon ka kuma history yawlo matande because mole ya mirano ko momen batenu matla molla wolti adu next election wol be karto fayla tele atanyina tako in kumben be siri wo fanan nakafo la fata jede bira tata molu tare may brin tees do sai hani minister doli beje ina mirota adam be bolale 3 years i sonno mol kono keda informality la official kono information be bolaje i tolu tara ilafta adam Baro tulaje le kilondingo mendu fana malla fala dum kunu
dol nada la fala bi
ila boste jang iko hani de kule be ke gam banko gam malla ani mbado ya kule je men ka nyat lim banko ko wo malla fo ke
malla vola
because nama
ya muna je nay ba nyat
fele bat na kilo no lafta itol fata le ko be mobe ko din lal fana mbita jele
ngala fala
Adam Baro bi obe sulare mobe la carte wala banko dingu be la carte wala tout ibota min to la ning ata gambe dona mut as far as you are Gambian we need your vote. I don't know what ibota party jamalto kuni yamina fa Adam Baro we don't interest that for modu sabal kun wol man ko be neng wol man rasiri lo adabala bunda tam tam mitala sansa
eta mitala je
adela kala bunda e lay ha usen da wana duna moto kon modu sabal la kala afala monta ndal ka diam Salukemo Baro so I ndalo na jamal ka diam noke so alnyabo wallahi modu sabal wallahi to do bolad modu sabal ni jama bako
daga bela fo
former MP APRC ko na mati wulali no state of emergency dundi jang
bari yo je nyaadi la ani Sirin Jay ndaman Sirin Jay tofo Sirin Jay mun tala dom baylati na dom bayla ma tofo ndaka memfo ndaka ntese mol kontiye nse mo kontiye fo mo 100 mo 100 men yalon ko wol be nana man la fi president Baro bar bi wolel mala bor malti wolel ka bor ngay
fana sa konde more than 200
be UDP
men be bot na APRC
fair enough
so anyway mo kana woto jibe mo Adam Baro be sulare politician no mati political
sulara mo bella
ada sulara mo bella bimbe sulare APRC ko la kata me mo bella be sulari la yena momo yaran ko imam kuri yake imam mo fake ndol be sulari la vote la as far as you are Gambia adu we will call them suton intilon be kuma la kuri yena because Usain Dawo be kuma kan suton intilo GDC be kuma kan suton intilo mama kande my fadi woite dan kulawma because wo kayno woni ko yadal so anyway woni ko yadal yalo wado dole no atay fanan kacho aka fa ben to mosila barin kayna kon kamalulal
kay kamala
because abe sirum office ko la be air conditioner ba fela abe fema be sotlaje monana mama my fadi la top anana man tiso my fadi na finde ne sanji dan non kamo my fadi suto den tula be fenko fenkal abe kuma fala Adam Baro
to wodo man diere
fisru walle alamu ibe kayro kono wato me be dere ifinda kayro kono no kan ko be kuma do
ala rafle afana na rafle ma men diata ofo
okay mo belbe sulare APRC ko ma hani Usain Dawo meya Usain Dawo findita prisino kono lota bundato ya jemme me ya sorom ay victimo be jam fa wolunna ay victimo be jam fa wolunna Sadio Kunyan san wol jam fa ay solo san nen jam fa wolunna ay Fatmata Jawra jam fa wolunna ay Lammaron jam fa wolunna ay furo be jam fa wolunna UDP la furo la kayam fata ya jembe
No, ako personally.
Personally, sa menu.
But saying no. Usenu Dabo. Ndamantara jangka Usenu Dabo fasade. Hani Usenu Dabo ndinga Usenu Dabo face. Ndinga na interview so nte buka mo nya kono jibe. Mbuka sila mola. Nte be mo interview la. Nga make sure le. Ye bata. Fodi me bata ni nore ngaje ko fanang you are smart enough me bata ni baringa mo bele bata ni.
Baringa Usenu nyanto fula bata mol fatate.
Hani yalo Usenu ye memfo. Usenu ite torata. Usenu torata. Hani oje fansi ta tiara tia kare yamfuta. Ako menkera la yamfuta.
After 3 years.
Aka yamfuta.
After 3 years.
Oje meta
Usenu ya fule prisino bunda da Usenu ya fole. Adu Usenu mbeyaje. Abika prisina
just a few days ago interview ningo ngajele moja ma interest soro molbe kuma kense kumo be fala stili ba jibe ka mosiara ya view soro ikalaf ge jibe bare malla fira
bare kam men fo kala fo ni ngadre malla finde tan jibe wala ni
sa be ni ngala ku klen na murata jang ko dege somora time nin time o sorata ba trailer ngamur na jang mbe ñini kala men na wala mo ku just kunonko drogo murada banko ka drogo ñin siada ba adon ay atinna mo banko jakalo be banko kan ko ñim be soro la ñaadi le ite ye oje ñaadi le comme for example barola man maralo kono ñin drogo sifa kana banko kan for first of all banko la image la international image because ndo local media nga report le but it's a kalamuda faranko international media Reuters mobile in afenke so what is a problem bankola image that is what is at stake adunga so ta president barola maskunal kon
yes
DLEG men be marlin drug fankola yol don nebula wol diamra wala press conference ke so and that's it but maka moy president la karola maka moy ala maskunal la karola ka foko ibe cool men tamande kan yin droko men dun tanam banko kan ka konin kacha anen ka konin fenke yoje nyaadi
follow mbe Gambia man sakunda tent la bake mbe jayila mbe Gambia la police wol tent la bake mbe jayila be do ko kendo men anyway no nte prata Gambia police la bile mu nim birin ndro ko la kibaro findira wato le no njiki nlata nan jiko soto kende ke nim man sakunda anin nim man sakunda men be do ko la jebi yaje no nata non ko kunu men be man sakunda ko wala be je nen ro ko be du ko mutala le bita bari no nim police soru biri ya muta ikote du ko muta la follow yalla nin kontena tamita min dole Belgium wala la security warata janti camera ta banne bulu e ka banko kono je
ka medane Spain
matum atamira Belgium la tara Spain e camera men be bulu ase jiyo kono je wala dina kebal ka fatu babule bannati bun kono bula dimo man den ka kawna mo men ka banko si ka silo bondiji ka jiyo kono si ka silo bondiji nin tudo ko tambita wol yala
yes
atamira Spain na Spain ni Gambia mote lala Belgium ni Gambia mote lala anata futa Gambia police li additek yamuta wallahi ni Gambia diwno ma fo police le ko no ale do ko kendo ke ala baraka mbe jam fal nyanta flena ala baraka isano le biri yamuta yeddu ko muté bul millions albiyan ko droko la ko be nyamin droko wafila jarata yefa walla ya fa tambi a jarata ay jan tumbung dan kay tambi because salon kala life le musako konden bari ya mute man du kota e muta ya public fanan ko droko le bejan ali ko nyanda min dole bilemu la wala fal lafta fal nyanda president bilemu la wala na la man sakunda
adi ala munati na o fota
adu badu ikada ila nyin karom ma banjabil al kam mem fanan fayno man dross kaw wala do ko le min dole adama baro ko fada adam baro te findino la kanim kumul be jabi wala ka jamu nyuni be la famo fen nata ay finde parama ay diamu adama e do kulale soto adum ay mennu kay ko hani ala ni aja ay jibril soto ay mikael soto ay asrafil soto ay malaikol soto men yalan ko karri itel be maralin fonyola itel be maralin niola itel be maralin nemola itel be maralin foare ani fanka ma yala itel be maralin yirolula itel be maralin fenkolla kunolla men atinna ala dam ma sakino ala man si ala waro be nyami barawo ke misalol ti dunya man soli wala na adama baroko ya minister of agriculture soto minister of education minister of nying pour man sakunda yesi ninnu ne men do ko yene ya report ya ne kibar men so yene ministry call ye nyini ya foyi ya kiskisi ye report dila adama te finta ko dia men ba do ko wala la do ko adu alin ne bar sai ni ne be fint lankan na fanna police ka da baraka ye do ko kendo lake ye ni fintin atambida bon ko jamal kunu nim mo be kajakal so mennu kafu ko karle tata e pororo adunta janal tata fen ko je abi ko vacances e kam modol tumino wal mantra no banko campagne birnin dro ko men
bari nga reportol fon soto even though mba try kan ka evidence nyina la ma soto folo bari nga reportol soto ko molu be president o bala ad idabe en ko kon
amota je ita mo kinen to fala ne moto fo yinenga san be jabla skeno na felonje ite men
non de moto fala because ma evidence mbulo man la evidence kan bari nga nyim fu mbulon ko man sakunda mol beje men yala mo kuma bal idabe nyen dro ko la
idata je e kam membe fo kuma ken sen dro ko man ga gambela dro kuti abebe koylale la men jang kam fo kunun nan nimmo be sirin office ko benin kata kan ibe nyim kuma ken so men fo na bamba masla audio la moyle me yo audio tan sababula yala bamba ikar kam men fo no bamba na tarta jason turele ya jara lola
de yalla wo mo njamane la ko mo
no to nyale mu
wo mo njamane la ko mo lel
jaso bamba ko mta fanya la bamba ni mo lel mu be jaso ya no men yalla ko no yalla ne na sate dun nel mu walti bamba no mbi kama adu balla fi kama na horma baka na bunya na ya fa en kay ko ne horma ne bunya dun ne la muso horma ne na bunya kunun ko nala muso ko pour ka diama bari masura fa ne ko na mista ko bari bamba bita kan nyama man tata ko kan ke bani frère bamba dim muso le siya tante ta se keno walla do no adinke walla siya bamba dim musu kanon ne babul men yalan ko no tambira fudu wala anin dinke kan bamba ke ba baka tan ko ke ba baka de kasi ina ko men ba nan boro la blaranda ko ita kada wal fo mole dimnu be bul ke ba baka do me mira hanna ta no ruwano le be da bul na bamba la ka fo mole poro do po fen ko container nomba mu nyinati container sabale mu ala ni dola nomba men ni dola nomba men yalan ko wol fanam be filiring wol fanam ko kala walla ngo adam man nani banko kan ko abeni banko mara la sama na fata ta jahannama adam na atla kanim banko mara al kiyama ala sa sono arjanola walantina be salola be sumna be farul ma ko kan abe molu ma ko ka be mennu mara kan
na ngeen nin ka njaay manela jadem be bulaleta njaay mane yenni ko asota la parti ko NPP because en UDP kolam aboda jara NPP aboda jamuta UDP dena muru back to NPP bara ka be kolya ko sotoka ye l'histoire da albita atola almadun di tokono sa même fo wolam ko ala nuclear wo wala be lafla wala be dunani president bari no tema ko because wala yata konye fo imato dum di l'histoire wala yo je ñaari le moy tra kafo ko alma respect alma buña alla NPP
nen tala mo njayete nen tala mo nta kamfala mo kilente je membe ka kamfa da soro lamini njaye kafo mo kafoleti fo mo so kiye yeso bi nyole kamfa no kamma wobe kelale bar nen tala mo nta kamfala nta ka adam baro fasa billahi wallahi tallahi nan laye nayi tan ni momo ko kandela kamfande ko ne motenta kamfande no nabo adam baro fasala nabo adam baro bala fentente nyorindila because ite ta rasumia ko je benta bana ne ko minanta kamfan la na nyore no nja nimmata ay continue be menna ay continue la do kola akana fo kare nyine kenna lungu minale luma adam baro ba kala mutala barako menna atay continue ni NPP momo amira non ko ni ta tara patiyo be telale nim patiyo mantede nim patiyo lodale nka kuma fo sanje tawor wala no adam atabay
dela kuma laban
nakuma laban mbe tent la bak la mini jay mbe jayila adum ba fle ko NPP kana molu jibe ko mbe kar le kuma la wala ni ne kuma moy wallahi lafta momo le la fen momo interview ke hanni mala number so don to kuma de ban sala number trano NPP dum siya bata janna ni banko kanya ne kiyamano regional kiyamano min yalan ko kasula interview la kafin e kubadde yana yem mol fo nyem no kumandi manna wolda mol man asekeno wol man ke fende wol nyon fenti NPP kono wol nyon keme kemol lel beje men yan ko wol fana be sulari na kana adu wol fana mu nyaton ko lelde lu wol be interview nyen kanne kumandiro ke dro ite kumandiro ke inshallah mol be dankule male pour nan na message findindi ay futa molo e ko understand mbe la fla wala adu no mbe duwala la television o fana ye fala se kayro keje ala salte mol nyandi banko fanan kayro me ya lonko mba kono mo kana kayro tinya ala se kayro sabatin dinna banko kan adon adam baro la ngani yuruwa mendi alma ale ndema woto e keno masibo ko muno be ale en kodin dala because modo la miro ngani mo membeti no wala mo hanna tare no be jarala masibol bar anyway non tole duwa don ale kayro sabatin de banko kan adam baro o bintal Because 2026 in Dolko campaign side.
I'll bowl a campaign.
But
But 2021 is in the bag.
Yes.
Aliyo bula
2020.
Aliyo bula boto already.
2021 nobody.
Aliyo bandi wabala.
Yes, nobody.
Mbela fila fana nitara President Baro isi na kondro fuda ndama.
Amamwela inshallah.
Isa itandala ko. Ndemang any problem sort of askena baji beka mang any problem sort ala. I don't have any problem with NPP.
Okay.
Ndebe independent journalist volti. Nte karo be nitara karo kara itara APRC. Nto di mama traje imalla finna e contem bias ale nitara UDP for all everyday benenka. Nitara je the same thing. Nitara la NPP. So nte lafta maintain na wala nyama karo kara mbatwalale nganna hako dila senyo fonye president afa ko man na jang man we are not anti government mang any personal problem osoro at whether atelembang wala government but mbe menkala wala mba make sure nga tratema ni oppositional ye me ngomen nati anara negative kola mba funtin lal nim positive call fananara rest assured nim mam mem funtindi alon ko mo soro na tableau kam. Okay.
Farmara Jawara apologize before you close.
Farmara Jawara apology tente mantrante Farmara Jawara tema ndengi natale wasalam wala mu interview. Thank you very much for coming.
Okay.
That is it. My interview with Salukemo Baro, staunch really supporter of President Adama Barrow. Speaking to me there. Before we go, we have a story for you. Qnet has long been accused of engaging in fraud. So this is a company. They don't have an office in Gambia, but they have agents in the Gambia. Every now and then, their agents would approach you to introduce their company to you and some of the things that they do. What they do or what they are engaged in is e-commerce direct selling. But the company, a lot of people think that the company is a fraud. They go about scamming people. It was in this context that officials of the company engaged members of the media over the weekend. More in this report.
Have you ever heard of Qnet? Whichever way your answer goes, this should interest you. Qnet is an e-commerce direct selling marketing company that sells almost everything to you online. Headquartered in Malaysia, the company is however fraught with too much conceptions. A lot of people take them for scammers. Qnet has agents in the Gambia, but there is a lot of misgivings about the company. And so on Saturday, the company's Africa officials engaged members of the Gambian media on their company. The roundtable was meant to explain the company to Gambian journalists so they could enlighten the Gambian public on the company.
Today is a tremendous opportunity for Qnet to voice ourselves in the Gambia. And you might have noticed that we've been around now for quite a while through major leaders like Mr. Kau Jikine here sitting on my left, and so many others sitting in the back there, and a few who haven't had a chance to come today.
The company's regional general manager for Qnet, Sub-Saharan African Biram Fall, explained his company more in a PowerPoint presentation.
Qnet is a multinational company that was established in 1998 in Hong Kong. Its headquarters are in Hong Kong, partly, and in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, for the greater part of the staff. We have over 25 agencies and offices in a few countries around the world, 1,000 plus staff working at headquarters and in the rest of the world. And our distributors base is a little bit more than 6 million. And we do business in over 100 countries around the world. As I put it to you a little bit earlier, the direct selling business is a $200 billion industry. You can read here roughly 180 billion, but the figures have evolved very lately. And we're speaking of 100 plus million distributors around the world. In-house, we call them independent representatives. Now, I think each and every one of you needs to understand from the onset the difference between direct selling and pyramid schemes. Let's start first with the pyramid scheme. In a pyramid scheme, no services or physical products are sold. In pyramid schemes which are forbidden around the world, we speak of recruitment. In other words, by word of mouth, you get somebody to come in, pay in a certain amount of money, and only the top people who were there first make a profit. And eventually, in the end, the whole thing collapses because nobody can continue this kind of scheme forever and a day. And on the contrary, in direct selling, in the direct selling industry, you've got thousands of companies that are over 15, 20 to 40 years old. Ours is almost 25 years old now. And we have products. We offer training. We have a compensation plan. And you don't earn any money unless you work. And we also have a procedure book and also ethics, rules of ethics for the entire industry and for our company. In other words, wherever Qnet is there to stay. We're not a fly-by-night company. It's extremely important for everybody here to understand that. All right? We haven't set up an official office in the Gambia yet, but we're here to stay. And I'll explain to you a little bit later on how we operate. Now, this is the picture of our headquarters in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. And this gives you a pretty good idea of our global presence around the world. You could see our presence in Southeast Asia, just about everywhere. Coming closer, you can see over there by the Middle East. We're in Turkey also. We're in Ireland, in Russia, not to speak of Morocco, Algeria, Cote d'Ivoire, the Gambia, Senegal, and so many other countries that are not yet depicted over here. We have a wide range of products, some 600 plus products through a catalog that we offer to all of our customers. And you can see here a sampling of health, wellness, and lifestyle products, going from watches to food supplements, to energy products, to home products like air purifiers and water purifying, and so many others that I cannot entirely list out here. We also have online courses and other technology products. Now, how do our products end up in our customers' hands? It's important to talk about this. In Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, we have a distribution center. We also have one in Turkey, precisely in Istanbul, a few in India, and in Abu Dhabi. When you place an order, these guys take care of them and ship them around the world.
The company engaged the media in partnership with Network of Financial and Tax Reporters of the Gambia.
The idea of organizing this media engagement forum between the Qnet official and the media came as a result of widespread of misconception, misinformation and audio circulating all over in the social media. However, based on this speculation and misconception, the NFT Gambia chapter wrote a request letter to Qnet represented in the Gambia to organize a one-day forum to clear all skeptics and rumors about Qnet operation. The request, by extension, was sent to the main body at the Qnet office for approval, which led to the event.
Qnet is seeking an end to the misgivings and doubts that are being cast on the legality of their operations around the world. Reporting for the Fatini Woke News Review, I am Matis Senghor.
Watanbe, brought to you by AfriCell.
Be part of the amazing conversations with Gambia's greatest minds and personalities. Get ready to be entertained, inspired, and motivated on the Watanbe platform. Plus, stand a chance of winning the shopping of your life. Call or SMS 1010 for $3 is only to win cash prizes and a free shopping spree.
Join Watanbe live on GRTS and social media on Mondays and Fridays at 9 p.m. Kailin New Watan.
Where AfriCell go?
Very well. That will be it for the show today. It's been a long one today, but all the same. We'll be back tomorrow. Until then, I am Lamin Jai.